And here we are. All right.
Hey there, guys, gals, and non-gendered pals. I'm Rain Grim, running the Ghastly Manor one-shot for our delightful friends. Check them out. Look at how excited they are. They're in for a rough time. Give them some support. To my right, we have Jack. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bud.
Hello, folks. I'm Jack. Also, RPGs uncovered all over the interwebs. Today, I will be playing Hevered Heart, which may be a familiar character if you've been following me. I am a pokey paranaturalist focusing on psychic, dark, and ghost types.
And then we have our delightful friend.
I'm Lewis Wolf. It's Lewis W. Basically everywhere. I will be playing Anthony and Barnaby. Um, I'd like bugs. I collect bug Pokemon. Um, I do what's on the can.
And again, I'm Rain Grim. I'm from Fennec Fables. If you guys haven't found me, please check me out. I'm desperate for attention and will die without it. Uh, with that said, I think we kind of want to just rush right into this. I think you guys are pretty eager, right?
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to start off ourselves with the two of our very, very wet Pokemon trainers carrying a very torn up Pokemon tent with them, the wind whipping in their hair as they kind of rush toward what they assume is going to be a house of some kind as they got caught in a downstorm. Uh, as you guys approach, you're going to be seeing what looks to be like a nice but still kind of dilapidated Victorian-ish looking house. But with the modern amenities, there actually looks to be like a little ring cam bell right there. And as you guys get close, we're going to have you guys describe what your character looks for us.
All right. I guess I'll let them know. Well, normally they look less sad, wet, and pathetic. Um, but Anne is pretty short. I'd say like 5'2". Um, they have like shortish red hair, which is now just sticking to their face. They have a green sweater that has so many moth holes in it. And just denim overalls with Pokeball patches on the knees, but they look a little pathetic. Um, and they're wearing Crocs, which is a regretful choice right now.
And what about Havard?
Yes, on the complete opposite side of the visual spectrum, Hevered is dressed in a fine suit and tie, sunglasses on, even though I assume it's dark out or it's nighttime. Full Men in Black SCP, government suit regalia, clean shaven, unlike myself, with this just very short crop, slicked back black hair. Very, very typical secret agent Men in Black sort of get up. Probably a little bit older than Ant. I think we're going with a sort of mentor vibe or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'll teach you young Padawan type of
Yeah.
vibe. Uh, as you guys approach, you're going to see a very ornate wooden door with, surprisingly enough, a lot of like cameras and stuff in position, which very much clashes what the general aesthetic that you guys would think. And not to give any brand prediction, but there is what looks to be a doorbell camera kind of thing just right there to the left of it.
Yeah.
It does appear that there is movement beyond the curtains, but you don't
Hmm.
see any lights on.
Ruh-roh. I think there's very horrible wet footsteps with from the wet Crocs as and kind of just like goes up to the doorbell camera and like taps it, which is not how doorbell cameras like ring or anything, but it could do something.
As you do that, you're going to hear what sounds kind of like pika 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 pika, and then eventually a voice is going to respond to you from there. It's like, hello, hello.
Yes. Hello. I apologize for the late hour. We seem to have been caught in a storm and we're a bit exposed right now. We were wondering if we could step in and dry off a bit.
Oh, just be right there. and then like you're gonna hear a door unlatch automatically. You're gonna assume that's just technology, like there's cameras and stuff. The door makes an audible unlatching sound. If you guys wanted to open it, it's up to you.
I think Ant just opens the door. Yeah, no caution or self-preservation. Just
It's wet. I want inside.
No.
When you do so, you're going to see what looks to be a fairly typical boomer-ish white person entryway. There's like a somewhat decent walkway carpet. There's like a little table with flowers that obviously are fake, but nobody wants to say they're fake. There's little tchotchkes, like little porcelain figures, all holding parasols and such as you enter. It looks clean and put together, but without charm or anything that draws your eye directly. As you enter, you're going to see like the curtains that were moving kind of still themselves as well. I know that Heather will definitely notice that happen. I don't know if Anthony will. Probably not. Do you both make your way inside?
Yeah, I mean, Ant's
yeah,
gonna go in.
I'll just
as
step
you do,
right into the doorway, not
you're gonna step your way into the
walking
doorway.
into someone's house.
You guys do that. As you do so, the door is not going to like slam on you, but it does start like starting to close a little bit, almost like on an automatic like old person door hinge. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of does it, and it shuts behind you. Up at the top of the split way railing way, you're going to see a older woman in a walker, like kind of like her shadow starts becoming into the be right there. And as you do so, you're going to let me double check something. Would either of you like to give me a perception skill roll to start off the game?
Is that something I?
That's under your trainer skills.
Yeah, no, I'm just seeing how good. Yeah.
You
I
both
could
can
do
do this
that.
individually if you'd
Marginally
like.
pretty okay.
Okay.
Marginally, they say, as they are adept at it.
I'm good at it.
So that one's gonna be D6 based.
Yeah. Okay, 4 of them.
Before I forget, for our listeners, we're going to be doing slight variations to the typical rules for Pokemon. Instead of using the standard or stat array, or for the stat rules, we kind of let that go. It's a one shot. And for those that are listening, skill checks in PTU are done with these sixes. So anybody that plays Powered by the Apocalypse and all that are going to be very familiar with this type of thing.
All right, let me.
Fingers crossed.
12, 14, 15, 16.
Plus 3.
3, 19.
That is really good. That is basically like a 22 in D&D.
Let's go.
You're going to notice, almost because you got in here first and your eyes were able to adjust a little bit better, you thought like maybe the curtains were moving because of the wind. You're actually going to see there's actually like little Pokemon just chilling right there. You're going to notice that there is a little Ghastly and a Haunter that are currently like trying to like hide behind the curtains, and they're just not quite hidden.
Hev only got a 10, but I am going to reach out passively with my telepathy.
I'm going to let you know a 10 is average, and that does let you see them.
All right.
You're going to reach out to them?
I'm just going to sort of mentally probe the area with my telepathy.
That will basically give you like a slight understanding of it. It won't give you like an area of effect thing, but it will let you let anything that's nearby give you a general understanding. All the while this is happening, you do hear the sound of tennis balls on hardwood floor coming at a steady pace. You're going to get the images of Pokemon's like upper thoughts, and they're currently just going, ooh, friends, play, friends. The general vibe of that playtime goes from let's go play catch to I bet I could push them over, depending on the Pokemon. I will let you know that there are more than the 2 that you currently see.
All right.
I'll be right there. I just have to wait for the slide. And then it's just like you hear the sound of one of those little auto chair things.
Oh, take your time, man. We don't mean to impose.
But with that, though, I'm going to ask the both of you if you could do me a favor. Could you tell me what is the thing that your character is the most afraid of?
How existential are we getting here?
Honestly, as existential as you want. Fear does not have to be a quantified form.
Bears.
Bears?
Hmm.
Good to know. As somebody that goes out into the woods searching for bug Pokemon, bear is very reasonable to be afraid of.
Bears.
Yeah. On the other side of things, I'm an SCP agent that deals with scary things on a regular basis. So I'm thinking back to other times I've played this character. I think Hevard's greatest fear is losing control. Really, Hevard is very in control of situations, usually socially, diplomatically, but also, thinking things through. So getting in a situation where he's completely out of control would be his.
Perfect. That actually works perfectly. So all the while you guys are listening, you're the one getting the vibe check. You're gonna be checking that out. Anthony, you're gonna notice something with I'm gonna keep that perception from earlier. I'm just gonna be casually. You're gonna notice that what is finally coming into view as it goes down the stairway, you were expecting a little old lady, and it definitely looks like a little old lady, but even in the low light of this room, little old ladies shouldn't look like that. You're expecting to see like a little bit of like wrinkles and the little dimples and all that. And it's like they're wearing the clothes and they smell and look right, or they smell right, but they don't look right. They look almost like sheeny, smooth, and like that doesn't look right to you.
All right. Well, we listen and we don't judge. Um, and files this away in the back of their mind, but I don't think they necessarily comment on it because, like, well, that could be anything.
That could be anything.
That could be anything.
We're gonna drop over to Havard. I'm gonna keep messing it up. It is Havard, right?
It's Hevard.
Hevard. I'm gonna keep fucking that up for some
That's
reason.
fine.
My first F bomb of the game. There we go. Hevard. Do you still have that psychic energy going, or that psychic reading going?
Yeah, this is my baseline telepathy.
Yes. So that lets you read like the overline of most things.
Yeah, I imagine it's on passively just all the
time. You're going to get two things that happen to you at the same time. One, you're going to know that they're coming, and I'm specifically saying they're coming because you're getting more than one reading from the same spot. And that spot is where that little old lady is. And the second thing you're going to realize is there's a lot of activity happening below you now. And by a lot, I mean you're currently getting the reading of at least 30, 40 different minds.
Okay.
I kind of want to put us in initiative right now. So if I could have both of your characters' initiatives, it's just going to be your speed.
Is it speed plus a roll or just speed?
It's just speed.
Okay. I do have dynamism, so I also add my guile.
That is correct.
Now that's not a guile roll. That is just my value rank in guile.
I have to double check. Let me see 1 second. This is why I have your guys' character sheets. That's under features, correct? No, it's an edge.
It's an edge.
Dynamism, your initiative increased by your guile rank.
Guile rank, yeah.
So you're going to be using your guile rank, which is 2. So it should be a total of 12 for you.
Okay. As adept in guile, it's a 2. Because value.
I am looking at the wrong character sheet. I apologize. Okay. That is on me. All right, these guys are new to the system, so I'm trying to assist. That's on me, guys. I apologize. So that's a 14. I apologize.
Yeah. Cool.
I was looking at ants.
Yeah, my speed.
Ant, what is your initiative?
My speed's just 5.
So all the way to the right.
All the way to the right. Oh, I'm on the right.
So when you're on your trainer sheet, you'll look at speed all the way to the right to the total. You are at 10.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. So we are going to have Hevard. Hopefully I said it right that time.
Yep.
Hevard, you actually get to go first.
Okay. I will also remind you, in case it becomes relevant, not sure if it does, but I also have both Mind Lock
which prevents your
Uh,
mind from being read. Or actually, is it prevent your mind from being read, or lets you know if your mind's been read?
I have both actually.
Awesome.
One is Mind Block, and one is a class feature. No, it's another Edge, Iron Mind.
So Iron Mind, you became aware of all attempts, and then what's the other one?
The other one is that's on the combat page. You are cannot have their minds read by telepathy, just at all.
But you are aware of things try to because your other ability.
Right.
Gotcha.
Immune to the move mind reader, cannot have their emotions calmed with gentle vibe, and telepathic warning cannot trigger.
You are a stalwart beacon of your own mental fortitude.
Yep. Mind Palace.
I will let you know when we started the initiative, something did try to read your mind.
Okay.
You were immediately aware of that, but you get to go first.
So I am aware of it, but I don't know by what.
I don't believe that's how it works. I think it just tells you that something is trying to. Let me double check.
Yeah, it just says you become all aware. You become
aware of all attempts to read
all
your mind.
attempts. Yeah.
You were aware that a lot of things tried to read your mind. None of it worked.
Yeah. That's fine. I try to read minds all the time. Okay, so I got initiative, but is there any sort of inciting event I need to react to? I'm just kind of
the inciting event is that you currently, as an expert in the SCP field, have realized that you are vastly outnumbered and something is very wrong in this room. You currently have that sound where enemy around music, but you can't see anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I'm getting somewhat of a malicious vibe here.
Things are sus.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm just going to take a step closer to Ant here, put a hand on his shoulder, and just sort of reach back behind me and grab the knob and try to open the door.
When you reach back, do you turn as well, or do you only reach for the knob?
I don't. I just stepped like a foot into the doorway, let it close behind me. So if I just reach back, I should be able to easily feel where.
So here's the cool thing.
Yeah.
You don't feel a wall, let alone a door.
Cool.
Do you turn around?
I think I'll keep my hand on Ant, just so if I turn around, they don't disappear too.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna put my hand on Ant and just sort of turn, so they're still in my peripheral, but try to see what's going on behind.
What was your fear again for the beginning? I'm sorry, I blanked. I forgot to write that one down.
Losing control, being out of control.
Well, you're reaching out for your greatest fear because currently you don't see a door or a wall. You currently see just open black space. And then your feet fall from under you. And Ant goes with you.
Okay.
As you guys fall, a kaleidoscope of images fill your eyes. Images of Boware, just big pink Boware faces, just kaleidoscope around you guys in a fun way tunnel of fear and despicableness. As you then feel your... What'd you say?
What are these things? What are we saying?
Do you know what Boware is?
Boware.
Boware is the pink bear Pokemon from...
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like a giant teddy bear, but it's so strong it crushes Pokeballs into dust.
Okay. Anything after Gen 5, I think I don't know about.
I will give it a quick Google. It looks adorable, but it's terrifying.
Cool.
You're going to have just a kaleidoscope of the various bear Pokemon. Boware, Pangaroo, all them. The one that has the beard full of snot that's frozen. And then the wee bears of the Pokemon bears. And then you're going to not so much come to as stabilize in a room that is pastel beyond pastel. Pastel pink, pastel yellow, pastel blue. It looks like that one girl from 5th grade got the option to build her room and went gangbusters. Second thing you're going to notice is we're now going to have you guys describe your characters again, starting with Anthony.
Yeah, I think he looks around at first and is like, hey, actually, this is pretty okay. I like pastels.
It's brightly lit.
The bear nightmares, that's over. Like, this is fine. They look around, they look at their hands. And that's not human hands.
No, it's not.
I think they're sort of, those like You know, sock monkeys.
Yes.
It's sock monkey coded, or like like those like
The
sock
little
dolls
knitted
like that.
characters.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Or even more like one of those like crochet dolls.
Crochet's one, yeah.
And they're much much smaller. Okay, well, the bears are gone, and this could be worse, I think.
And-
Yes, we just fell down a pit of darkness. I think we're in a bit of a bad spot.
Heather, what do you
know.
look like as you have now become a toy?
Yes. I think I respond to that and I start looking around, and that's when I realize there's a sheen off of my body as I seem to have turned into a plastic action figure. We're going like original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger action figures with those
With like the
ball
bulging
joint
bicep
multi-
actions and all that.
Yeah,
Hell
the
yeah.
multi-joint sort of articulation. Yeah, but I'm just like all plastic. Like everything is hard.
You are
and
now
shiny.
actually literally double jointed.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
In
With
this,
removable sunglasses.
you have the action. You have your. Oh my goodness! You have the equipment.
Yeah.
In this room, just to give you guys a quick little prep, you are now what is undeniably a pastel pink toy house. You are in this world's version of Barbie's dream house. You can even see what looks to be a little plastic elevator off to the side in the middle. You see little windows that are clear through, but don't have any actual plastic stopping it. It's just little bars. And this room in particular appears to look reminiscent of an attic. You can see what looks to be little plastic boxes and little dusty figures. Everything is brightly lit from little LED bulbs. And it looks to, you can even clearly see where the seam for if this thing was to be split open and played with. It is still like physically sealed, but you can still see the indentation in the plastic. And the first thing you're going to see, aside from all that, is a little table in the middle of the room with a little tea light candle sitting next to it with a couple of like larger than life berries, but appears to be appropriate for actual berries, and a note.
Like I said, could be worse.
I'm gonna inch towards one of the windows and look out.
When you look out the windows, you are going to see, just be aware, it's not big enough that you could fit through, but you can still see through it and you can like poke your head through.
Yeah.
You're going to see a multi-storied toy house. You can even see down far, way past where you could reach, a little toy latch. And beyond that, you can see wooden floors. And you're getting the vibe that this is basically the basement of the house that you were just in. And there's a little toy house in the basement that you are currently in. The house you're in has lights from LED. And then out in the open, you can't see any like bright light sources, but you can see that there are movements. Anthony, would you like to also look through the window?
I think Ant went to go over to the table to read the note. They're
Cool,
like,
just wanted to check.
they have that handled. I'm good.
In that case, Hebert is the only one that's going to see this. You see what looks to be a multitude of bright eyes looking at you into the darkness. Some of them red, some of them reflective, almost like the sclera of cats, and some that you can only perceive because you have your mind open to checking them.
Great.
All of them that you are able to read are currently giving you the vibe of various forms of, thank goodness, playtime.
Okay.
Anthony, you went to go look at the table, correct?
Mhm.
You are going to find on the table a few Oran berries, which you can use if you'd like. Those are just Pokemon berries that they can hold. It heals them, I believe, 10 HP. And a little note drawn in crayon.
Fun.
It is a pink crayon on yellow paper, and it I have a theme going. In the cutest, almost kawaii hand script that you could do, it says, "Thank you so much for playing with us. We look forward to what you do. But don't forget, that you don't get to go home until we're through.
Hey, so it got worse. Decidedly it's getting worse.
Yeah, I noticed that.
No, but like, what's your thing? Because my thing's pretty bad.
Well, we're clearly being observed. a lot.
Okay, so we're also being held hostage, captive. And then it's just gonna like reach and like show the note. But then I think they realize, wait, grabbing things is kind of weird when you have sock hands.
Oddly enough, even though you don't have a surface to grip, we are currently operating under. Pardon me one second. My dog is
Toy
trying to get in the room.
Toy
We are
Story
currently
rules.
operating under Powerpuff Girls logic, where even though
There
you
you
have
go.
no fingers,
Let's
things just
go.
grip.
It's like static electricity. It just
Yep.
Yep.
yeah. So here's this note. It got worse.
Got worse.
Yes.
I jinxed us. So what's the move?
Well, I don't think anything I have readily available is going to help us immediately, so we might want to ingratiate ourselves with our hosts.
It can't get worse, right?
Who knows?
Sure, it can't get worse. I mean, what could be worse than this?
What would you guys like to do? I am at this point. It's you guys are the experts in this field.
Well, with telepathy, I not only can sense minds, but I can project outwards. I think telepath. I don't
I
know if
believe
I
you're
have
able
to.
to. They have to be open to it, and they are open to it.
Okay. So I don't know if it's. I think I can only like connect with a certain number, but I think I'm just going to sort of open
Project
my
yourself?
mind. Yeah, and just sort of. Well, hello. I suppose we're here for some fun.
All right. So account for the 2 AP that will last the rest of the scene. You project out just kind of like we're open for some fun. You get back the message that you are. We've had very little entertainment the past couple of weeks, but we're looking forward to it. And you're getting like the vibe of just not malevolence so much as impish enjoyment.
Okay.
Are you enjoying the berries?
What kind of berries are these? You said they're
These are
berries?
Orin berries. They are a healing item. Basically, if you have one on your possession and you fall below a certain amount of HP, in this case half, you heal 5, just automatically. Just a little gift.
Okay.
They don't say that part. That part's mechanical, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, quite a lovely gift. We appreciate your hospitality. Grab. I imagine these berries are like
they are big.
head-sized.
They will effectively work just the same, but they are big compared to you.
All right.
It's like one of those things where like you go to put an item in your backpack and it just dwarfs in size. We're operating on that one.
All right.
Side tangent, you guys are noticing that all of the stuff you had prior is still on you. It's just a little bit toyified. And it doesn't quite make sense, but it's also like we've seen weirder. All your Pokemon do operate the same as usual. They will all look however you would like them to work. They work exactly the same. They just might look a little different. You are going to get the voice box like, how do you want to play first? You look like a puzzle man. And then you're going to get like a couple of other voices that look like they're trying to like bypass that. And then in a moment of just, I feel bad for Anthony. They're not catching this one, but I'm assuming Havard is going to tell them, you are going to hear like a bunch of like side voices all try to interject. And then, you know that thing where a mom looks and everybody shuts up in the room? You get that vibe mentally. Like a bunch of people tried to talk and somebody just went. You look like a puzzle man.
I suppose we could try to solve some puzzles.
Glorious!
I
The
respond
boxes
out
in the
loud, so,
room, the boxes in the room actually shift. What were originally just looking like little cardboard transportation boxes all now change into toy letter blocks, like the little wooden ones. And it just happens like it's almost like a mirage where this like they were cardboard and then a little wave kind of slides over them. They all start shifting into letter blocks. Your turn. Ta ta. And then they're disconnect.
Well, it can't get worse.
It can't get worse.
Right.
I will
well, at the
say one
very
thing before you guys go. One box in particular does not shift.
Okay. Well, at the very least, I'm not picking up any concerning level of threatening malevolence. I think they're just
Okay.
bored and want to have some fun. Let's hope not too terribly at our expense.
Okay.
We should probably just play along.
Do you say that audibly?
Yes.
As you say that, another berry arises from the elevator.
Well, see, I think they like that.
Okay.
Just so you guys know, just for your own knowledge, there were 3 orange berries on the table. Those just act like healing items. You can use them automatically or use them in battle. But because you said that, a citrus berry also appears. Citrus berries heal 15. You will notice that as soon as the Barbie elevator rose up, the berry fell out and then the elevator went back down.
Okay.
You could hear that clicking sound the entire time, too.
Okay.
We're not going to get copyright struck for me saying Barbie, right?
No.
Okay, cool. I should probably call it like Barbara or something. The Barbara Dream House.
The Barbara Dream House, whatever girl wants.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all the boxes in the room except for one turn into wooden letter blocks.
Okay, have.
Well, a number of things changed and one thing didn't. So I think I'm most interested in the one thing that didn't.
For sure. Could be something.
But perhaps you could check out the letter blocks, see if they're in any particular order. Well,
yeah,
what
letters are there?
So each block is going to have the exact same letter on all sides, which is much different than usual. You are going to find. Do you have a piece of paper handy?
Yeah. Okay. Notes out.
I'm one of those GMs that love puzzles. Sorry, I warned you guys. Character sign up.
Okay.
There is M,
M,
an A, an L, a T, I, Y, P.
You said P.
P as in player.
Cool.
And an E.
E. Okay.
And all those are just kind of strewn about the room in no particular order. Given their size, you would think they'd be heavy for your person. They're exceptionally light.
Okay.
When you do pass by the one box that is unopened and unchanged, you do hear something moving in it. But I'm assuming you leave it be as you pick up your blocks.
Yeah, so okay, okay, so MALTIYPE. Playtime.
Do you say that out? Do you literally just play them all?
Well, yeah, no, and it's like MAL.
You got that so much faster than I thought you were going to. I had like a full 3 minutes allotted for that. I'm assuming we're going to jump over to Hevard real quick. Hopefully I keep saying that right. Correct me if I get it wrong. I'm awful with names. We're going to jump to you real quick while they're doing that. I'm imagining Anthony's just like, all those times I did the crossword are coming in handy.
Yes, vindication.
There is a single box that has been unopened. Go check it out. Are you doing anything with it in particular, or are you just kind of getting a reading on it?
Yeah, I'll just focus mentally on it, see if I'm getting a mind from within.
You do get a mind, and it's currently going dark, dark, dark. How long do I have to wait? I'm being a good boy. Dark, dark, dark. And then it starts doing like a little hum song I said.
Hello there, new friend.
Hello! Or sorry, that's the wrong voice. Hi there. Hi. You're getting a lot of Doug energy from up.
Okay, all right. I'll go over and slowly open the box so it's not as dark. There
As
you
you
go.
open the box, you are going to see what looks to be a misshapen, like torn apart toy. Though you know what it is instantly, it appears to be a little Mimikyu keychain. It still has like the little attachment on the top of its head either way. And as you do it, it just wriggles its way out of the box, like hello, and it waves its little stick part. Friend,
Hello there. Yes, new friends.
friend, and it literally little black hands kind of come and just grab around your leg.
I'll reach down and pat it on the head. What is
Friend,
what is your name, new friend?
I don't have a name.
Okay. Well, my name
I
is
usually
Ted.
just get told, I think my name's shut up or go away.
Well, uh, I've seen others like you before, called Mimikyus. So how about Mickey?
I like it. You're my new friend. And it's now just perpetually stuck to your leg. So just because you guys haven't played this before, if you offered it a Pokeball right now, it would voluntarily go in. Because you were nice to it.
Oh, okay.
If you wanted to.
This is a ghost type.
Mimikyus are Ghost Fairy.
Okay. Yeah. So if I'm getting like this legitimately new friend, we are bonding moment.
Side tangent. I'm assuming right around now is when you would look around. Anthony does have the ability to Pokemaniac, which is basically you can look at a Pokemon, do a skill check, and know a lot of details about it if you would like to do so. Not
Yeah,
to jump.
I'm gonna pat it on its head and just sort of like walk as you do with like a toddler
Like a toddler.
leg as they do. Just sort of slowly like swing my leg and shuffle.
The sound of plastic on plastic as it just drags.
Yeah. And
I'm assuming you were putting a playtime on top of each other.
Yeah, and this is our other new friend, Ant.
Oh,
Ant, this is Mickey the Mimikyu.
Okay, nice.
Ant, I love you. Anthony can't hear that. Only you can, but to Anthony, you just hear Mimi, Mimi, Mimikyu.
Cool.
Okay.
Rad.
So just so you know, you have an ability called Pokemaniac. You are able to basically get all the details off of a type of Pokemon with a skill roll. You just need to give me a Pokemon education roll.
Bet. Okay. Expert.
Side tangent, just for you to know, you can also interact with Pokemon using Pokemon education instead of Charm, Guile, Intimidate, or Intuition.
Okay, okay.
I made you guys two different vibes.
That's 9 plus 3, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
You
plus...
beat the skill choke.
Yeah, so
let me know the full total though, 18. Just because I'll give you a bonus. 18. So the check level was 10. I'm going to give you a little extra just because you went so far over. So with that ability, you're able to get the general information off of a Pokemon, including its level, types, natures, abilities. But I'm also going to give you its moves since it wants to be your friend and you roll so high. This Mimikyu is level 23. Its nature is cuddly. Its types are Ghost and Fairy. Let me double check. What are the details I'm supposed to give you? The fun thing about Pokemon, level, types, nature, and abilities. Its abilities are Disguise. If it gets hit once, it gets to ignore that damage, but it will break its disguise. You guys would heard it. It has the ability called Decoy as well, where basically it can use Follow Me and gain some extra evasion. Basically, it would let somebody else move as it at its initiative. It also knows the moves Double Team, Shadow Sneak, Feint Attack, Mimic, Copycat, and Baby Doll Eyes. I'm just going to hold on to that so you guys don't have to manage another Pokemon, but
Cool.
you guys need to find one friend in this scary house after all, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So as ants, I assume you're sharing this.
Yeah,
information.
absolutely just yapping on about this Mimikyu.
The
Okay.
Mimikyu is doing that thing where, like, you know when a dog is just like just looking at you the entire time, and it's kind of like transferred legs now because you're talking to it.
Heck yeah.
So now he's just on your leg. Side tangent, it is a he.
Okay. Well, while all that is going on, if I am getting this genuine new friend vibe, I think I'm gonna reach into my jacket and pull out this sort of oversized Pez dispenser that has like a Pokeball on top, and I'm gonna
I
push
fucking
the
love it.
plunger on the
That's
back,
so
and a little
good.
Pokeball's gonna spit out of it, and it's
I
gonna
fucking love
enlarge
it.
as it does in the anime. And I'm just gonna press the button and
When Mimikyu sees you offer it a ball, in your head you're just going, it offers us a ball! We are free! And then it just like throws itself at the ball. You now have a Mimikyu in the ball.
all right.
I will hold on to that stat sheet for you, but if you need anything, I will take care of it just because we don't want to deal with that.
Right.
Around this time, I'm assuming Anthony basically had playtime fully built. You're just like waiting to put the Y on the top, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh, you solved
Well,
that
I
quickly.
feel like Ant's relatively short, so I think it's horizontal.
It's fully horizontal.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to presume, but I'm assuming you finished putting it all together after you solved it like a
I was like,
wicked
yeah,
genius.
they were like solving it while they were yapping about Mimikyu, and then they're like, "Ee."
Side tangent, I'm just really proud that you figured that out so quick.
Playtime.
I've had some people where I've done word puzzles and it's just like,
Yeah.
as soon as you finish putting together playtime, the blocks actually condense and turn into what looks to be a little Jeep.
Huh.
Like you know the type of Jeep that you would play with and you'd put all the toys in, the GI Joes because they don't hang out
It's a
with
barber
Ken.
Jeep.
It's a yep. And it has what is clearly a button on the hood, and it says "Press me." And as you do that, the elevator from before comes back up, and it is just empty. It's just in place.
Okay, well, I mean, can't get worse. It's actually getting better. So I guess we probably go in the elevator. Have
So pressing the button on the Jeep brought the elevator up.
No, do you press the button on the Jeep?
No, yeah, I feel like and well, I'm
So the
being
Jeep,
prompted
comparatively
this,
to you
though.
guys currently, is like one of those micro toys.
Yeah.
Like it's this tall comparatively to you right now.
Oh yeah, no. Ant's gonna push the button.
You get pushed back unharmed as a full-sized Jeep for you appears with a big-ass battery in the back, and you can see the little cables and everything. It currently says by and large, and it has those little pedals and everything.
Oh well, that's not gonna fit in the elevator. Have
Next to the steering wheel is another button that says press me.
Okay, well, I mean, if I'm using my brain here, have I think if I push this button, this is my fingers in frame. This button, car shrink.
Do you press the button?
Yeah.
The car starts.
Okay, I've been wrong before. Have
the button's still on the hood as well, just so you know.
Yeah, no, I think
one of those new keyless ignitions.
All the rage, I hear.
Yeah.
Pushes the button on the hood.
You kind of more have to like push the button on the hood,
just like,
but the car does shrink into your hands.
Okay, see? Okay.
You guys now currently have a vehicle.
Let's go.
Okay.
Now I think the elevator have.
Yeah. If I just do a cursory glance of the room, in fact, I know Ant is much more perceptive than I at this point. I'll
you
go
see
over
the existential dread. They see the physical dread.
Yeah. Well, let's just make sure we're not missing anything interesting here before.
Oh,
Did you guys want to
yes.
inspect the room?
Focus up. Yeah.
Okay, so instead of a perception check, I'm going to have you guys give me your choice of either survival or intuition.
Okay, I'm good at that.
So perception is basically getting a cursory introduction of things. Survival is like you like checking the walls, checking for things.
Yeah.
And intuition
I'll
is
do
like
survival.
generally like, I know how things work. Side tangent, you can do this as a group skill check or individual. Just let me know before you do it.
What do you think, Jack?
Side tangent, don't forget Pokemon can also do stuff.
Well, actually, I am a master at intuition.
Hell yeah.
Okay, nice.
So I got 6 dice on this.
Hell
yeah, I think just a group roll, or you'll probably succeed. But just so Anne's gonna do a survival.
You're going to do survival, and they're going to do intuition. You can do 2 different skill checks as well together. I just need to know if you're doing it together to adjust things.
So I think
Is anything else assisting you guys?
not at this time. I don't think.
You're not going to bring out any of your Pokemon?
Uh,
No, let's keep the viewers waiting.
Well, once the Pokeball stops rocking and little sparkles,
It didn't rock at all. As soon as you offered it a ball, it's like, I'm free! And it jumps into the ball, which is a weird dichotomy that you were very aware that that means something.
Okay, all right. Well, it seemed to be here for a reason, and it seemed to enjoy our company. So I'm just going.
Did you ask it any questions after that, or no? Because you can ask that question.
What's that?
You said it was here for a reason. Did you want to ask it that question?
Yes, I'm going to release it from its new Pokeball, so it can.
As soon as it comes out of the ball, it's literally doing like a little side-to-side dance with its little arms.
Well, there you go, buddy.
But you ask it was here for a reason?
Yeah, Mickey, what were you doing here, hanging out in that box?
This is where they put people that they don't want to bother with.
Oh, well, that's not very nice.
No.
Oh, well, we don't need to worry about
was
that.
up here with me before, but they got taken out.
Who was up here with you?
Umbi.
Oh.
They were the nightlight.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll reunite when we.
So they were nice to me.
Okay.
They don't always leave the lights on in here.
I imagine I can like reach down and hold its little.
Yeah, you can easily. Yeah, we're not going to nitpick the size of this Pokemon. It's currently attached to you again.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's light enough that it will try to climb you if you let it.
Sure, yeah, just put it on a shoulder. Snaps right into place.
It literally, I think, it has gone from being like a softer keychain to being a plastic keychain now, so they can slot onto you.
There you go. But I am just sort of slowly pacing around the room, clearly looking at things.
So are you guys doing this separately or together? Just because I have to adjust the skill for that. There is a chance that you get more if you do it together, but it depends.
It is separate skill, so I feel like it would still be separate.
Okay, you guys are doing separate?
Yeah.
Give me 2 separate rolls. I'm going to start with the intuition roll and then go to the survival roll.
Cool.
Okay. I rolled a 24.
Jesus Christ. Just for those listening, that's effectively like a 29, 30-ish in Pokemon, in regular like D20 rolls, for those that aren't aware. You are going to be able to notice a few things. The LED lights in this thing aren't natural to it. You're gonna, like, as you get closer, you can clearly see that this was originally, how do I put this? Do you have any kids, Hebard? No. You've been around enough kids and enough toys to know that there are certain things that aren't typically in toy houses, and active electricity is not one of them.
Right.
These light bulbs are not natural. They look like tacked on. In fact, if you try to touch one, it looks like it pops right off. You now have a torch, an LED torch.
Great. Is it one of those like sticky spheres that you poke and it's on, off, on, off?
It's more like an LED bulb on a like base.
Okay.
That they kind of like affix to the wall. The other thing you're going to notice is one of the walls that you thought was just, weird and clunky because that's how you make toy houses, isn't actually fully a wall. It's actually a door that they just made look like a wall.
Oh.
And that's where we're going to jump over to Anthony.
I got
Remember
a
that
9 on
check.
survival.
You got what?
I got a 9 on survival.
A 9 on survival. Alrighty. So, did you want to have a Pokemon help you?
I mean, at this point, I don't think Anne is thinking about Pokemon.
You're not thinking about that?
Um,
So you're not going to get stuck on here. It was more just going to be how easily you open the door. You're going to know that it is openable. You just can't figure out which messed up way it's supposed to open. You're probably going to have to force it.
Hey, Mickey, what's up with this wall? Do you know?
Oh, that's the storage room.
Oh.
It's where they put stuff when they reset things.
Reset things? You know, when they go around and clean things up?
Oh, no, when we get new people, that's where they pull stuff from.
Okay. Do you know how it opens?
I mean, kinda. Did you want me to open it?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, if
Okay.
that's where they have all the cool stuff, more to play with.
You literally see him run at the wall, and then his outfit droops behind him. And just kind of like falls to the floor, and then like you see a little hand like grab the outfit and pull it under the slit of the door. They have the amorphous capability, so they can kind of just kind of like, it's not perfect, but they can kind of like go under doorways.
Mm-hmm.
So you just like see him run against the wall and then just deflate, and then pull his outfit underneath the door, and then you hear this like heavy thunk, and then the door kind of like squeaks open. And then he's just going, in here. Are you guys going to go inside? This is opposite the side of the elevator. So you're actually on the other side of, you know how playhouses like swing open? The elevator's on one side, and this is the other side.
yeah, I mean, I think we should explore this.
Yeah, and let's see what's in here. Apparently, this is where they keep all the new toys.
So when you go into the room, you're going to see you have your little torch. It's also somewhat lit in here, but not as brightly. Like everything, you're getting the clear indication that like that room is staged to be playful and whimsical, and this is more like practical. The big old latch thing that you guys saw was just a giant old like Connex block that was like literally screwed into the wall and used to block it from opening. And you see like what looks to be like another Connex thing that's been hot glued into the wall so that you can just make a door. In this room, you're going to find a bunch of like little broken things, boxes, several wooden blocks that have been destroyed that all say variations of the same letter you saw before, indicating that people that have done this before had gotten angry and broken the blocks. You're also going to find what looks to be a like, not a water bottle so much, but like a little mason jar with a bunch of berries in it. It's not a big one. It's like one of those like baby food jar sized ones, but it's just got a bunch of berries in it. Like they purposely keep a stash in here. And you're also going to find a note tacked to the wall.
Fun.
This one is in the exact same pink crayon on yellow writing. If you are reading this, you must be so proud of yourself. You really shouldn't be in here, but we are impressed. And the "we" is like capitalized, like heavily written "we." And then underneath is a little wooden toy box. Like, you know those like things that you like put teeth in or whatever like that, the little wood metal latch. It's right there, and then there's like a big old arrow pointing to it.
Okay, I mean, I think we're being prompted to, you know, open the box.
Well, it looks like we solved another one of their puzzles.
Do you open the box?
I mean, we're being prompted. And again, very little self-preservation skills. They flip the latch and open the box.
So I'm gonna do two things. You go to pull the latch. Hebard, were you gonna let them pull the latch, or were you kind of like being standoffish?
I am going to let them pull the latch, but I am keeping an eye on the surroundings. I imagine Ant does this. This is the vibe we have regularly. Ant interacts with the things, and I make sure them interacting with things doesn't cause everything to explode.
One thing for people that run TTRPGs and play TTRPGs, every group needs the person that asks why you're pushing the button, but every group also needs the person that pushes the button anyways. Side tangent, just because it's relevant. You, right as they're about to open the box, think, I should probably scan that box. And there's stuff in that box, but they open the latch anyways. As you open the box, you're going to see the letters P-L-A-Y erupt from the box. We're entering initiative as you find 4 unknown.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Awesome.
Alrighty, so the way initiative and fight works in this game is it's automatically assumed that you guys are just going to toss a Pokemon out. Which ones would you guys like to toss out? And let us know what they look like. I'm going to let you know that Mimikyu or Mickey is already out, and they will not have to count against your max for right now.
All right. Well, I think I am going to send out Ronnie, my Absol.
Ooh. Please tell us what Ronnie looked like as you toss them out.
Yeah, so I think my unused Pokeballs are in my Pez dispenser. Where are my occupied Pokeballs? I think these are just like on a belt.
On a belt, yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine you might have like that gun holster kind of vibe, but instead of like a gun, it's just all your actual Pokeballs.
Yeah. Actually, no. I got something even better.
Better?
I reach into my jacket and I pull out this little like Nerf gun.
Oh, I love it.
It's a Nerf gun revolver, so it has 6 slots. I look down the barrel, click, shoots out a Pokeball, and it erupts into. Are our Pokemon toys too?
Your Pokemon are toys as well.
Okay. It erupts into a sort of My Little Pony-esque Absol.
Let's go!
This game doesn't typically
yeah.
do rerolls. I'm gonna give you, for any future roll you do that's a skill based, just assume one of your dies are a 6. That's too good. That's too good. I have to reward that. That made me genuinely laugh. Ronnie, the My Little Ponified Absol comes out. I think they do a double take, but then realize that the fight is on and they just kind of focus. Lewis, Anthony, what do you throw out?
I think Anne just keeps all of their Pokeballs in their little overall
The little pouch.
Yeah, and I think they take out the Pokeball, but it actually looks like one of those. Wait, I have one behind me.
You have one behind you. Ooh, we get to see some merch.
One of those like block, like
one of the plastic ones, yeah. With the flat bottoms and top. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there was a Ditto in this one. But just like okay, sure. And they throw out their Galvantula, who is named Steve, and Steve is those like remote control spiders.
Oh yeah.
It's that, and then as they throw Galvantula, they have a control in their hand. And they're like, well, okay, let's go.
Let's go. So give me their initiatives. That's just going to be their speed. Don't forget that for your Galvantula, it's going to have a +4 because you gave it agility training.
Yeah, so total is it's going to be 34.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
They are... Wait, that is incorrect.
Nope.
You have to go all the way to the right.
Oh. God,
that'd be 40.
Yeah, correct. There's a 30.
Sorry, not to like tell you how your thing works. Anthony has a cool thing where they get to give their Pokemon a stat boost off the get-go, combat stat. So their Pokemon has 36 speed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. No. What about Ronnie?
15.
15. They are not fast. I feel like their speed should be higher than that. Nope, just 15. Ronnie, Steve. So we're going to have Steve go first, as they're apparently just coming out turbocharged.
Let's go, Steve!
We're going to just be keeping this kind of loosey-goosey. Usually it's a stat block thing. I'm not going to be too pedantic on it. You currently have the letters P, L, A, and Y pop out of the box, and they're all just like, and then come at you.
Okay. What's Steve gonna do?
What's Steve got?
What's Steve got here? Ba, 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 ba. Okay. What's Steve got here? I'm looking at the sheet. Trust and believe. I'm just
Trust and
deciding what
believe.
the fuck to do. Okay. Well. I mean, I guess maybe spider web.
Spiderweb, you want to use the one that slows them down?
Yeah.
Alrighty. That one is 5 range, 1 target. Just pick a letter.
A.
You're gonna pick A.
Mhm.
Give him the A.
Give me
Alrighty.
A.
Spiderweb cannot miss. So what happens is Steve comes out and you're just like, boop, and you press a button on the controller, and Steve just like launches what is clearly just little rope cord of a net from its undercarriage, and it wraps around an A. It is now stuck and trapped,
Mhm.
and it cannot flee. So it's basically just stuck there and can't get away. We're now going to go to the other guys. Unknown are not particularly strong unless there are numbers, and would you look at that? We have numbers. They're all going to attempt to use hidden power. 1 second. So they're all burst 1, so they all swarm around Gavantula, except for the one that's stuck.
Steve,
I'm going to roll here. What is Gavantula's evasion?
Looking at my sheet.
So this move is going to be special, so you can either use special defense or speed for your evasion.
Cool. Well, since my speed is very high, I think I'd like to use speed, please.
For those listening, Gavantula is got a innately 6 evasion, but due to fun shenanigans from their class, their evasion's 8.
Yes. That would be correct.
I'm gonna let you know right now, I have to roll a 10 on the die for any of these to hit.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a 1.
Okay.
That automatically misses.
Yep.
That's a 7. That misses as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's an 8. They all miss. So your Pokemon, Gavantula is just kind of going, literally just doing that little thing as they all try to hit. And the other one didn't get to move from its position. What is Ronnie going to do? It is Ronnie's turn. Side tangent, you guys did not give me your initiatives. I just realized that. Because you guys also get to act.
Yes, mine is 14.
Mine's
14. So you're going to go after Ronnie. And what about you, Aaron?
Mine's 10.
Your Pokemon are fast. You are not.
No.
What is Ronnie going to do?
Okay. Excuse me. So in
No
Pokemon, battles are fun. Right? We battle for fun. Pokemon enjoy fighting each other. Yeah. Okay.
It's basically the equivalent of playing catch, unless you purposely try to make it bad. For the most part, Pokemon training and activity is just them exercising.
Yeah.
They enjoy
play
it.
Wrestling. Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. So Ronnie's coming out swinging.
Hell yeah.
This My Little Pony Absol is going to charge forward, even though her speed stat isn't terribly high. She does move. She has an overland speed of 9, so she's just gonna head down with a little sickle off the side, kick her back leg, and just charge forward with a Night Slash.
I'm going to let you know they surrounded, or they lined up next to Gavantula, so they are actually in a line. 3 of them are. So for those listening, Night Slash has what is called the pass keyword, which means it can hit up to 4 things in a line.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. Now here's the question. Do you want to roll for all of them at the same time? Or do you want to roll for them individually? Risk it for the biscuit or take it safe?
No, we're going all at once. We're going all
Going
in.
all at once? Go
Yeah,
for
we're
it.
going all in.
I'm
All
assuming
right.
this is a melee physical attack?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Okay, so that's just a
It's a d20 roll. What is the AC of your move?
AC is 2.
So I'm going to let you know now, just for the fun of it. Their physical evasion is 2, so you just need to roll 4 or higher on this die.
Okay, and a 14 or higher is a critical. Let's see what we get. That is a 10.
It does still hit.
All right.
That'll be hitting all of them. So go ahead and roll your damage for me, please. I love hearing the sound of those click clacks.
Yeah. All right. So that is 2d10. So my other d10. There we are. 2d10 plus 10 plus 28.
Hell yeah.
That is 16, 26, 26 plus 28 is 54. 54 dark
54.
type physical damage.
I believe dark type is super effective against psychic as well.
It
So
is.
that damage by our rules gets times by 1.5.
All right. Times 1.5 for a total of 81 physical damage.
I'm gonna let you know you currently took out the PL and A.
All right.
Or sorry, you took out PLY because A got frozen.
Yep.
They do not have enough to be able to block this. So basically, they're like, "Oh no, our inevitable defeat!" And just, in a playful sense, they all kind of just like Larry Curly did mode and just dunk, dunk, dunk against the back wall and just kind of like slide down. With like they have the one eye and it's just kind of doing that little swirly thing. They're not hurt by any means. Like they are injured by the mechanics of the game, but they're not like they're not going to die. They're just like, ow, that kind of hurt. We're gonna now go to Hebard's turn. Ronnie laid those suckers out.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. So there's only A left. So let's see here. I think I'm going to. I'm going to use confusion. I have psychic powers.
I forgot that you had psychic powers. Hell yeah.
Yep. All right. This is an at-will ability. It is AC 5.
Okay.
So I need to roll above a 7.
That is correct. Need to roll above a 7 because it defender wins on ties.
All right. That is a 13.
That hits.
So that
Be
is
aware that psychic is resistant to psychic damage, so this will be 0.5 times on it.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm not as powerful as Ronnie. So that is 9 plus 15, 24.
24 times
0.5 is 12.
Alrighty. It does take a little bit of damage though. It isn't outright. It's not like spinning like its friends, but you do like, and it's. That is now our Anthony's turn. What would you like to do?
I don't know.
So you do have orders you can give to your Pokemon for later in the turn, if you'd like to do that. It'll be under your combat thing at the very bottom of the page, bottom left.
Combat, bottom left. Reading.
Side tangent, just in case you guys do forget, you can always use an order as a priority move, which means you get to do it before somebody else's turn. It just means you use your turn up before they get to go. You could also just currently try to shove it into the box.
I mean, that is certainly an idea.
Just throwing some ideas out for you guys. Anthony did not get any personal attack moves. They let their Pokemon do their talking.
Yeah, I know. Please, come on. Honestly, I don't think Ant's gonna really do anything.
Are you currently like, oh shit?
They're just like, well, I mean, I think Steve has this handled if need be.
In that case, we go to the top of the initiative. It is Steve's turn.
All right, knock him dead, Steve, but not really.
What's Steve gonna do?
Steve is going to use Electro Web.
That is another move that slows them down, just so you know.
Mhm.
Electro Web is another move that slows them down as well. Did you want to still use that?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. The AC of that move is 3, but I'm going to let you know right now. With your other things, you basically have to roll a 1 to miss.
Yeah. So I rolled a 4.
It still hits.
It still hits.
Steve has a +3 to accuracy rolls base. You really cannot miss unless you roll low with
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
Electro Web hits. Go ahead and roll that for me. It's 2d8 plus 10 plus 32 for Steve.
Yippee.
Steve is a very strong boy.
The 11 plus 10 would be 21 plus 32. I can't do quick math.
That's 53.
It's 53.
That takes them out.
Cool. Yeah.
So Steve's like, in a second web that now looks just like the first one, except this one has a little like electric on it. Zaps him, catches him, and then he kind of like falls to the side of the chest, and he's just like, nee, nee. The A just starts looking like a neon sign for a couple seconds. He's not harmed. It's just a little fun bit of flavor. That's the end of initiative there. You guys dealt with all of them. They're all unconscious. They're not going to come after you, but they will be fine after this. You get the feeling that they do this all the time.
Yeah. It's enrichment.
There is a little box right there that is still open, and you get the feeling like you hear a little bit of music coming from inside. Almost like da, 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 da.
I think Anne is gonna look to see if there is anything else in the box.
There is something in the box. Now the question is, you see 2 things in the box. You see a red box and a blue box. And it looks like there's a little trap door under both of them. And on the lid it says, please pick one.
All right, I've watched a movie like this once. Which one are we gonna... What are you feeling?
Yes. Well, when offered, you always take the red pill.
Yes. So Anne's gonna, I think, try to pick up the red box.
As soon as you touch the red box, the thing underneath the blue box drops and it falls down the floor. And as you look down, you can clearly see that it's just falling into nothingness. And then the door immediately shuts behind it. And under where the box was is just a big old smiley face with a thumbs up. Do you open the box?
I mean, yeah.
Inside the box, you are going to find 3 great balls. And
that was a good choice.
And a bright powder. Bright powders, when equipped to a Pokemon, give it +2 speed evasion.
Okay, let me put that in my inventory.
It's up to you guys how you want to split those up, but there you go. As soon as you take that box, though, the wooden box shuts and slaps closed.
Okay. If any of your Pokemon don't have attached items, you can go ahead and take that bright powder, because my guys are all holding stuff.
Okay, I don't think any of mine do.
One does. Your Galvantula has a bright powder.
Oh yeah, okay.
Your Volcarona and your Masquerain do not.
Okay, let's give some love to the Volcarona.
Alrighty, I'll just put that down for you, just to make it a little bit easier for you.
Appreciate that. And
that
then
automatically applies.
The Great Balls.
Great Balls, you can just deal with those. Side tangent, just because I don't want you to forget, Ant, when you do use your Volcarona, it does have a leftovers. But that works differently in this game than it does in the video games, because leftovers is pretty broken in the video games. This one, you get to just eat it and get that buff for the C.
Mm-hmm.
With that go, there's nothing really left in this room except like the damaged items and the stuff you already grabbed. The jar with the berries is sealed, and it looks like it'd be really hard to open.
Mm-hmm.
But it is an option if you'd like to try.
No, you could just smash the jar. Have
Well, I don't know if we want to steal from these fine folks. We've
They've
gotten our
trapped
allotment
us
of berries.
in a dollhouse. Have
Uh, trap, I think, is a strong. I mean, they've
can we
trapped us. No,
currently can we leave this house on our own accord right now?
yeah, no, you're very
We're
much right.
trapped.
Yeah, but I don't think breaking their things and taking their stuff is going to make them any more willing to let us go. They offered their hospitality with a number of berries already. I think we'll be fine.
All right, let's go to
I
the
was
elevator.
actually thinking the quite the opposite. You're fairly crafty, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is there anything in this room that looks particularly damaged that Ant thinks they could fix?
What do my eagle eyes see?
So you are going to see. So this room is basically where they store things that are broken,
Mhm.
and where they basically put the stuff that they use to reset this room. Though it looks like they knew enough people would find this that they decided to put a little extra Easter egg in here for you guys.
Mhm.
You're going to find what looks to be extra tea candles that have been burned out. You can see that like they aren't the ones that typically have a battery that you can reset. You're going to see little extra little things that you would pluck onto the wall. You're also going to see what looks to be Legos and some. Do you guys know what connects are?
Yep.
There's some of those in there as well. They look to either be broken, like one of the little spindles popped off, or they're bent or something like that. But there are pieces of thing in here of electrical or plastic technology, basically. I'll put it this way: if you proper me up an idea of something you want to build with them, I'll let you know how feasible it is. But there are materials in here.
I was just thinking if there was a particular toy that was damaged.
Oh, I got you. This actually,
she could fix it.
oh, gotcha. I was misunderstanding your question.
Yeah.
So far, you're gonna realize something. The Pokemon that exist here, by the way, the unknowns you fought, those were in the shape of unknown erasers.
Awesome.
So you're gonna find that the things that you guys combat in here aren't actually like the Pokemon themselves. At least the things you're combating, they're possessing toys or items put in here. So you're gonna find that the ones you guys dispelled, they're still possessing that thing, but you are going to see like broken erasers over in the corner of other ones that say play. You're going to find other keychains that aren't just Mimikyu. You're going to see like a little Gengar, a little Pikachu, like a Bulbasaur, stuff like that. So you're going to see like little like stuffy keychains that are all like torn or ripped asunder. And then you're also going to see what looks to be pins, but their prongs are bent, like the little pins you would put on a shirt or in a bag. You'll see those over there as well. They're kind of just strewn about. This is like the room of requirements, but not without the homophobia and all that awful stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if there's anything in particular you can do about any of these things, but
I will collect the junk though, because it could be a surprise tool that could help us out later.
The interesting thing is, whatever you grab will fit into your bag relatively easily. You get the feeling that this is operating more on like Resident Evil suitcase rules where it has to just slot.
Yeah.
Which things do you kind of grab just so I can like kind of
I think
anything you priorly had don't count toward the
yeah.
carry capacity, I should say.
Well, there was the Legos that could be helpful later, maybe. I think.
There is enough Legos here for you to make a relatively convincing spaceship on a 2D plane.
Heck yeah.
I'm gonna
take the Legos.
Legos.
I'm gonna take a Bulbasaur keychain.
The bulb part is partially ripped off.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm describing what was ruined about it. Why they put it in here?
Yeah, why they're in there. Well, I mean, do you think there's anything else in here that could be useful?
I don't have anything particular in mind. I was
okay. I think. Yeah, I mean.
You're gonna take the Legos, the Bulbasaur keychain, and you currently have a Barbara's Dreamhouse Jeep in your bag.
Yeah, I currently have the Barbara Jeep in my bag. I think that's it, honestly.
Alrighty. There is still an elevator awaiting for you on the other side.
All right. Well, let's.
Do you
get
guys
started.
leave the room? I'm assuming.
Ant does at least.
Yeah, let's see what else.
When
this
you leave the
playhouse-
room, the door shuts behind you. You hear a little like plastic on plastic clack, and then you hear the sound of things getting shuffled behind the door, like it's getting cleaned up behind you.
Hmm.
When you enter the room that you had left prior, all the blocks are back where they were prior as well.
Okay. Okay.
Like something cleaned it while you were gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess they're gonna shove into the elevator.
When you guys get into the elevator, there's going to be a little plastic sticker thing with like what looks to be a paperclip on the 3 numbers that you can see. Or 3 numbers, 3 letters you see. There's a letter A for attic. There's a 2, 1, and there looks like there's a spot for one more thing, but it's been like carved out. You can see like the scratches of something where it's been like basically like scrapped out.
What floor are you feeling, Have?
Well, Mickey, how much do you know about the basement?
There is 2 and 1, no B.
But there was a spot under the 1.
There
right?
was a spot for it, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You're gonna assume that's a spot because it's 2-1. You gotta assume, right?
Yeah. Well, if they don't want anyone going there, let's not mess with it immediately. We seem to be treated fairly well here
For captives in a
for
dollhouse.
captives in a dollhouse.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
It's a good time. It's
so
a Barbie
second floor?
world.
Yeah, let's just
Okay.
make our way down then.
I guess just move the paperclip to the
Which
2.
floor are you going to?
2.
2. So when you move the paperclip, you just kind of like go over top of the sticker. You can see where like there's been like a little bit of scraping on it, and it just kind of goes to 2. When you move to 2, you just start hearing that click, 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 click by its own volition for some reason. The funny thing is, when you looked down before, you guys didn't actually look down before, did you?
No.
Okay, then we're not going to describe that because you guys didn't look down before. The thing is just going to click, and as you pass past the floor, it just naturally passes, and you now reach the second floor. On the second floor, you're going to see what looks to be a hallway with several rooms, each with their own little plastic door with like the static little knobs. You can clearly see like the very cheap little hinges. 2 of them are closed at the first. The second one is going to be closed and open. And at the very end, you have what looks to be an open bathroom with like a double bay door, and those are open. And you can see what looks to be like a little jacuzzi tub that currently has like bubbles in it, and like a mirror that is like partially reflective, but it's that cheap sticker
Mhm.
that's like reflective but isn't.
Yeah.
And that's what you guys see.
Okay. No staircase.
No staircase, not yet.
Okay.
Okay.
You can always
So-
try hitting 1 on it if you'd like.
Yeah, I wait a beat just to see if anything happens or if Ant does anything.
You see that those things that I said before, where it's 2 closed door, closed open, and then the open double bay bathroom door. I
All
said
right.
door for some reason.
So there's probably either a puzzle or something wants to fight us in the rooms. Pick a lucky number.
Well, there's one door that's already open. I'd say we start.
There are 2 doors that are already open.
Let's pick the closest one.
So there's 2 closed open, and then the open double bay bathroom door.
Right.
Mhm.
So the first open door on the way.
Yeah.
The first open door on the so you guys leave the elevator.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When you leave the elevator, it just and descends down into the hole it came from.
All right. Well, I guess we're staying here.
Righty. And you're going into the first door. When you get to the first open door you guys saw, there is going to be a bed with a little plastic doll bed with 4 posters on it. You're going to also see an open closet just filled to the brim with clothes. There are shoes, but only 1 of each one for some reason. That always seems to happen. There are like little plastic purses that are like just solid. And then you're gonna see little stickers all over the wall. Like there was like wallpaper put onto these, but you're also gonna see like little pony stickers, and then you're gonna see all sorts of different Pokemon like Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Charmander. I have a full list of those, but those will be relevant later. what do you guys do first?
So this looks like Debbie's room and not Ben's room.
That's correct.
Okay. Sort of lean my head in past the threshold of the door and see if anything happens.
In this room, there is a dome light source. That one looks to actually be part of it, and it's just been made to have an actual light in it. There's also a big window. When you look at the window, you'll see what looks to be like a big red light just taking up the full thing of the window. It's not like blindingly red, it's just kind of like that red light that's like, it's there.
It's kind of ominous, Hev.
Yes. Yeah.
There's not a but to that. It's just ominous.
Are you still looking at it?
Yeah, I think Ant is. So just like tilting their head.
The light kind of goes like this, and then it pops back open.
Continues to be ominous.
Can I sense a mind out that window?
You do sense a mind. You currently are getting the vibe of like, it's my favorite part. They're in the outfit room.
Hev kind of sighs. Well, it looks like we're playing dress up. I'll take a step inside.
Nothing happens as you step inside the room.
I mean, you know, the outfits are more likely to fit you, so I think this is a you thing, Hev. I think you're gonna have to handle this one. I did solve the playtime puzzle, and Steve kind of carried the last fight. So, go ahead. Logic.
Insider Pokeball, Ronnie's rolling her eyes real hard. Okay, so if nothing happens, the door doesn't slam behind us.
The doors, I'm gonna let you know, none of the things have slammed behind you until you've basically indicated that you're done.
Okay. If I take a quick step out just across the hall, that door's closed.
It is closed, but it's basically dollhouse doors where it would easily just pull open. It looks to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just push that open. Is that a room too?
You push that open, and you currently see what looks to be a bunch of G.I. Joe stuff. Like, there's like all sorts of like plastic grenades. There's like 3 different guns where the barrels are bent the wrong way. You see like military fatigue pants everywhere. It looks like somebody's like wrote like "War is Hell" on the wall and just like in like red marker. All of this is in typical like still pastel room colors, but it looks like somebody just made the boys' room more boyish because gender stereotypes.
So is this a bedroom with G.I. Joe stuff in it, or is it?
It is effectively a duplicate of the same room, except all this is like, yeah, boy, G.I. Joe.
Okay.
There's a closet with all sorts of military fatigues, outfits of all sorts. Oddly enough, there are similar outfits in both. The only difference really seems to be like color palette. Like you'll have somebody that's like, there's a military outfit in both. It's just like one's like Navy and one's military. There's like astronaut outfits, but one's more like Russian and one's American. There's all like very similar in style.
Okay. So the first room wasn't just like girly princess dresses and.
Oh no, there's all sorts of outfits in both.
Yeah. Okay. In terms of color, I think Anne is gonna just pat Hev on the back and go into the G.I. Joe room and leaving Hev in the one bright color one.
Do you go and take the G.I. Joe room?
Yeah, and it takes the G.I. Joe room.
So when you enter the G.I. Joe room, it's again a very similar thing. There are a bunch of stickers. It's not just War is Hell. There are a bunch of like those glow in the dark stickers and fuzzy ones. It's like all a kid explored this room at some point in their lives. What do you want to do first, each of you? There are other rooms to check out too. You guys aren't stuck in the toy room.
Is there also a giant blinking red eye in the boys' room?
In the other room? No, that one just looks sparkly. Like it's red, but it's not glowing. It's just like there's like a little bit of color to it. It's like a
Mhm.
gemstone of some kind.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Did you want to take a look at that, Ant?
Yeah, so like, do I just see
You could poke a maniac
red
it. You could poke
or
a maniac it.
that's a good idea. I do think it's a Sableye.
I'm gonna let you know
Um
right now. It is definitely a Sableye.
cool. I'm like, I'm gonna go on the limb here. But
I
yeah,
figured that won't
I'll
be
I'll
obvious enough.
roll,
Go
to
for it.
see
Yeah,
what I
roll
can
for it.
gather. Um
I'm gonna let you know, Hebard. Yours is definitely a Gengar.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna roll
Yeah.
the Pokemon education thing to get the Pokemaniac thing.
you already know that because you can read the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind readers are not fair. I swear to God.
12 plus 10, that's 22 plus 1, that's 21. 21 plus 24.
24. Hell yeah. 1 second. So it is definitely a Sableye.
Yep.
This one is more just you like, holy shit. It is a proud nature. It is level 20.
Mhm.
It has the abilities Keen Eye and Frighten.
Okay.
Its nature is proud, if I didn't already say that.
Yeah. Cool.
And you're kind of like, if you kind of like poke your head at the window,
Mhm.
you're gonna see it's not the only thing standing there. It's just the closest thing to the window.
Mhm. Yeah.
You're gonna kind of, do you do that?
Yeah, Ant's gonna see if they can, just
So it's the same thing
shove
as
their
before.
face against the window.
So it's the same thing as before. The windows don't have plastic in it. It's
Mhm.
just like those little bar windows. If you kind of like poke your head out, you're gonna see a Sableye. You're gonna see what looks to be a Frostlass,
Mhm.
and then there's gonna be a Persian, an Alolan Persian, all just kind of like staring at the house, just peering into different windows.
It just waves.
They all kind of go
I don't think
and
I
give
like
you a
it.
thumbs up.
Um,
The ones that
I'm
have
gonna,
hands go.
yeah.
I'm gonna lean into the room. Well, and it looks like it looks like we're playing dress up now. So just shout if you need anything. And I close the door.
Mhm.
So
Go back
you
in
guys
the other
don't
room.
have to do anything. It's just it said its favorite part is
Oh
dress
no,
up, but I'm just letting
I'm
you know
loving
that
it.
that isn't. There could be other things.
Yeah.
Maybe that Pokemon just
Indulging
likes
the house
dress.
tends to work.
Yeah.
Indulging the house does tend to work.
Okay, what?
This is not the GM trying to railroad anybody. Just clarifying.
No, you're good. You're
that.
good.
I had to make what are weird things that Pokemon would find fun.
Yeah.
Okay,
One of my favorite
what
things
kind
about the
of...
Pokemon anime is just all those little fun things they show Pokemon doing when nobody else is around.
Mm-hmm.
So
So I actually have an idea, and if you need time to think.
Yeah. What's your idea? Go ahead.
So I'm gonna go back into the other, much more brightly colored pastel room, and assuming I can take my plastic suit that is also my body.
All of your equipment is accessories.
It's all
You can
removable.
Ken
All
doll
right.
yourself up,
Just
but
sort of
there is
snap it
nothing
off.
there.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna look around, and I'm going to, if it is there and you'll permit me, I'm going to flip through the clothes, and I'm going to take out something reminiscent of Taylor Swift's pastel yellow pantsuit from the Me music video.
Yeah, it's there. It's just there. It looks like every time you move
yeah.
clothes, more clothes seem to appear from behind. It's you don't know how it works, but it's like it spins, and there's just more clothes as more as you spin it.
All right, so I'm just gonna take off my jacket. Things get a little
fits
weird
over
when we're playing dress up time.
Yeah,
So a little fade to black or whatnot.
it fits over as well.
Yeah, a pastel yellow suit, and I'll just fold up my other clothes and shrink them down into my inventory.
It immediately goes inside.
What's the most
When you start
outlandish-
changing, like the blinds descend in the room. By the way,
Courteous.
kind of them. Okay, what's the most absurd thing I can think of?
please. I was hoping you guys would do this, but I was like, I'm not going to make it a requirement.
Okay, so Ant's move is like everything else so far, they're very different from Hev in terms of like, temperament, just how they exist and interact with things in the world. So I think Ant's move is just blindly grabbing things and putting on as many things as possible. So there's like
A
some
spaceman helmet and like
there's an astronaut helmet. There's like a camo like jacket. Um but then because it was just going off of color palette vibes, let's go ahead and say that there is just like a black sequin tutu
that is
just
there.
on there, and they're like, okay,
We're kind of going by Barbara rules, where Barbara's done every job imaginable.
Barbara can, yeah,
Just like G.I. Joe, they've done every job possible.
yeah. And then Ant's like, okay, I need the last how to finish any good outfit, really. They get a little bow tie.
A little bow
They
tie.
just, yeah.
The
They're
only
still
thing-
wearing Crocs.
I was gonna say the only thing that's not in this room is a complete set of shoes.
Yeah. So like, I'm gonna keep my Crocs. And I think they just like walk out of the room to see if
Like
Hev's
once
in
you
the
like
hallway.
once it's indicated that you are now leaving the room, like you've just finished dressing up your sim, the blinds pop back open, and now there's a different set of eyes looking through the window, and something else like pushes it out of the way so they can look through. In Hebert's head, you just kind of like, yay, my favorite part. Ooh, Taylor Swift, very stylish.
I'm gonna take a fake flower out of a vase or something and put it in the jacket pocket.
All the fake flowers are those puffy flower stickers that have been stuck onto like one of those little pipe cleaners.
There you go. All right, yeah, I'll take one of those and put that in the breast pocket.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you guys wanted to look at in this room before you left, or the rooms before you left, I should say?
It kind of just left the room to see if Hev is done.
No worries. When you come back out of the door, the elevator has risen back onto the floor. You didn't hear it rise up, but that's most likely because you were busy getting dressed.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like almost anytime you leave a room and come back, the room resets, including the elevator.
Is there anything under the bed?
Thank goodness one of you asked.
Listen, Anne is Anne.
So the question is, do you move the bed or do you pull what's under the bed out? The bed is plastic. You can just it.
Yeah, if it's light enough to move, I'll just pick it. I'm gonna pick it up and move it as opposed to scraping. I don't want to scuff the floor.
It's plastic. It can't scuff. It just gets those little track marks in it. When you scoot the bed, you are going to find another note. It literally says, "You're so nosy," but the nose is like a drawn one, and it looks like a nose pass. But we like that about you. And underneath the bed, you're going to find what looks to be another little suitcase that you could flip open and take something out of.
Okay. I'm going to boop the nose pass nose and take
on the
suitcase.
note.
Yep. Yeah, on the note. Yeah, I know what I'm just playing along. I know it's ridiculous. I'm just playing along. Yeah. So I'll boop the nose pass and slide the suitcase out, put it back on top of the bed there. Click, click. All right.
When you open up the suitcase itself opens up, and then another suitcase opens up, and then another suitcase opens up, and then another suitcase opens up, and then finally like a little tiny thing ascends, and it is a quick claw. This is an equipable item.
Oh.
It adds +10 to initiative, and it can be used by trainers.
Okay.
It's an accessory item for trainers and Pokemon.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, I guess I'll.
Do you tell Anthony about the bed?
Yeah, I'll take that, head back to the door. I assume everything opens up just
You see
fine.
the ridiculous outfit.
Do you just like lift the visor up or
Yeah,
take
just
the
like,
whole thing out?
so I think we succeeded.
I would say so. You were looking quite snazzy.
Thank you. Yeah. It does not spin.
Did you take a look around? I found a little present for me.
and goes back into the GI Joe room. And so just like, like not as carefully as
You just push it.
yeah, like pushes it. Probably also
That
like
bed is
flips
covered in like
everything
plastic
over.
guns and
Yeah.
stuff, by the way. So as soon as you do it, just scatters. There is no note under yours, but what you do find is a stairway.
Hey, so there's a stairway under
This one looks like
bed.
somebody clearly cut a hole in the plastic. You can even see like the melted frayed plastic of where somebody like clearly cut open a hole. And then there's like a stairway that's made out of like paper clips and hot glue.
So yeah, I'm understanding why you make sure areas are like cleared and like I get it. I get your vibe. I'm understanding it now. I think we're getting a new understanding of each
It
other.
can be helpful to have a keen understanding of your environment.
I'm learning that. Do we want to go down the stairs?
Well, this seems like a hidden passageway, and that sure sounds fun.
Ba-da-ba. Okay, well.
Is that what you guys do?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
The area that you're entering is actually dark, which is a first for you guys. Like outside of the actual house you came in, this is the only place that's dark. So you take out your little handy dandy torch.
Yep.
As you descend down the stairs, each time you take a step down the stairs, like discordant from each of you, you start hearing like the Indiana Jones theme song. It's like dun, dun, dun. Like each step is a note in that, and it basically plays like the first like 10 seconds as you walk down the stairs. But it's doing it twice because you're both walking down the stairs.
I think Anne starts walking down as fast as possible.
I have to interrupt real quickly. Did Mickey put on an outfit?
Mickey did put on an outfit. I'm so glad you asked. Mickey put on the wrestler Pikachu outfit.
Hell yeah.
I'm assuming you know the one I'm talking about. And so they're like, there's like two little arms trying to do like the this thing, but since they're so ribbony, it just looks like I'm strong.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, and he just jumps onto your shoulders.
Yeah.
Awesome. Lewis, I'm assuming you know what the Pikachu outfit, the wrestler one is. Yeah, there were a whole bunch. As you have that torch lit and you're going down this room, you are currently entering into a room that it looks like somebody actually put up cardboard blocking off one of the rooms from the floor downstairs, and you've entered an area they specifically cordoned off. You have found a hidden area.
Yeah.
In this room, you're actually going to see a bunch of doodles on the wall. All of them are going to be like various Pokemon, all like, and like there's a Pokemon on the top, and then there's like hashtag marks, like not hashtag. There's like tally marks under each of the Pokemon. I'm not going to make you guys give me a perception check because I'm assuming you're checking everything, correct?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you are going to see the following Pokemon on the wall. I'm not going to give you all the tally marks, but there are like notable amounts. You are going to see what is a childlike version, like drawing of a Chandelure. There is an Espeon. There's an Umbreon, a Persian, a Sneasel, a Sableye, an Absol, and an Alakazam. And they're all kind of like cordoned off on the walls. I'm assuming you've reached the bottom of the stairs, correct? I didn't want to make this. When you reach the very bottom of the room, there is going to be a big old, like, you know those toy sets you buy at the dollar store for kids where it's like, go capture bugs. And it comes with like a little plastic lantern and a little net. There's a little plastic lantern there with like a button that you can clearly press to turn it on.
I mean, yeah, we all know Ant's gonna push the button.
When you push the button, it lights up, but it's clear that somebody's like taken a highlighter to the lamp, and it's like different colors on the lamp, so the room's got like some fluorescent colors to it. You're going to notice that there are tally marks under each of those, and they're not quite even, it looks like some have more than others. Just to make it easier for you guys, because I don't want to have like a full number. The ones that have the most tally marks are the Sableye, the Chandelure, and the Absol. The Absol has more than any other. It looks almost like a record room of some kind. You're also going to notice, off to just one wall before I forget, before you guys ask any questions, there looks to be a doorway that has like a hatch to it. And you guys just found a secret entrance to the secret room that you would have found in another room if you did it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mickey is going to point and says, "Oh, that's where mine goes." And there's just like an empty spot with like a Mimikyu sticker that has 0 tally marks.
What are these tally marks, Mickey? Do you know?
Those are winner marks.
Oh, well then, can I have a marker? Do I have a marker?
You can have a marker if you want one. This is toy logic.
I mean, yeah, Ant probably has like a notepad in there, like, you know, they're a nerd.
If you take a pen out with your notepad, the pen just becomes comically large.
Yeah. Here's this pen.
Well, Mickey, I think you're a winner to me.
Do you give him a tally mark?
I do.
When you do that, the Absol, like the sticker of the Absol, the head unnaturally shifts, and then they fire off what looks to be like the same kind of move you've seen Absol do before, the wind strike, and it strikes the tally mark. It's not gone, it's still there, but it's clearly been like scraped.
I'm gonna turn and address the sticker. Hush you, you're in the lead. Calm down.
Make another mark. Make another mark.
Just so you know, in my canon, I like the imagined Pokeballs are like the ones from the manga where the top of the ball is clear so you can see the Pokemon.
Huh.
Do you still have your Absol Pokeball with you, or is it back in the gun?
I mean, it would probably be back in the gun.
Gotcha. Yeah. I just wanted to clarify because I'm going to give you one thing, though. That Absol sticker does not have a mind to it.
Okay.
You feel like that's an effect that's happening.
I think I have something for this. What is it? Because I have a lot of abilities.
Both of you guys have a lot of stuff. Anthony also has a lot they haven't quite pulled out just yet.
I think I have something that allows me to see through illusions.
Oh, shit. Don't you also have scry tags, by the way?
I do have cleanse tags. Yep.
Cleanse tags.
There's just a lot to look through.
That is one of the great and awful things about PTU. You have so many options, but also, God, I have so many options.
No, not that. Not that.
Is there anything that Anthony wants to be doing while Havard is currently like mean mugging an Absol sticker?
Right.
I think
exactly.
Just looking around to see if there's any indication that there's anything in this room.
There are things else in the room. So currently that was just the thing you guys saw while you were going down the stairs. Because you're kind of like walking with the torch. Now that you're on the bottom floor and you kind of like have lit up the room, you're going to see what looks to be like little tables underneath certain like spots. And not every Pokemon is going to be just like a sticker. Some of them are drawings. It looks like some of them have been like keychains, like the little flat plexi ones that have been hung up. It's all various just indicators that have been chosen by them. Underneath each one, there's like little items, and it's not really like anything usable. It looks more like souvenirs, maybe. like if you look underneath some of them, there's gonna be like little pieces of toy, like a helmet or like a bayonet from a sword or a bayonet from a gun, like a little sword, like toothpick kind of thing. It looks like trophies, honestly. That's the vibe you're getting just innately from your own experience with Pokemon. Would you like to do something further with that?
Hmm. I'm trying to think.
The ones with more marks, do they have more little knickknack trophies?
That they do. I'm
Okay.
gonna bop back to Havard just so we can handle what you're doing with the Absol, and then we'll come back to Anthony. What you got,
Okay.
Havard?
Yeah. So I clock that there's a bunch of little knickknacks on there, and I while I'm sort of staring down this
That
Absol.
Absol is currently like the sticker has shifted. It was kind of like doing off to the side with like the horn, and then when you did the thing, it's shifted to like look at the other side of the room,
Okay.
and it's looking
Uh,
at you.
yeah. So I'm gonna take off my glasses, and I'm gonna hand them down to Mickey. Hey, Mickey, because you're such a good friend, you won these glasses. How about you put them under your little drawing there?
I'm a winner.
You're a winner, my friend.
I'm a winner. And he goes like he kind of like scuffles over to put it on the table, and right before he can put it on the table splits in half, and that Absol sticker has now slid down the wall and is on the floor. I'm gonna pause right there just so that Anthony can do the thing they were doing, and then we're
Mhm.
gonna be entering into combat again.
All right.
You have
Yeah.
pissed off the Absol.
Well, I mean, 'cause I can't really think of anything to do using my thing. So I
Well,
think
how about you tell me, is there like a thing you're trying to understand or get a vibe from, and
not
I can give you.
particularly.
Okay. As if you
Um.
ever feel like there's something you're trying to do but you don't know how to do it, just tell me and I'll make sure I
Mhm.
walk you through it.
Mhm. So I mean, let's just add insult to injury before we fight the Absol. I think and because they're like sort of paying attention to what's going on over there. And I think similar to uh how a cat would, they just like walk over, like look at the Absol thing and just like push the things off their table.
Oh, you do you?
Yeah, I do that.
Awesome. So I need one of you to roll me a D8 twice.
Okay.
You have made a joyful decision for me, but probably a bad decision for you.
I mean, that's fine. Okay. So together that
Separately, I
is
need
oh
each individual number.
that's a 3 and an 8.
3 and an 8. Awesome. So, in conjunction with the Absol, the Sableye drawing that was like done with like highlighter and like a little bit of glitter pen, that one slides down the wall. And you're also gonna get the Espeon, which is basically that one was like the little plastic, like double-sided vinyl thing. That one also slides down the wall, and they all kind of like surround you as you just sweep tables around, and now they're pissed. We're gonna roll
I made a
initiative again.
choice to have.
I'm actually gonna say, do we want to stop for a bio break real quick, and then we will start this as you guys have now started basically a mini boss fight. I wasn't expecting you to do this. I'm like, will they fuck with the tables? Won't they fuck with the tables? They might. You will. We'll take a quick bio break then, and then we'll be right back to watch them hopefully not get their asses kicked.
Steve can handle it.
Steve has got this. I believe in Steve.
All right.
Are we out?
I guessed correctly. We're back.
We're back. Hey guys, sorry, real life happens, and I have a puppy that does not want to stop trying to get into this room. So we're gonna start with initiative because Anthony did an oopsie and Hevar did an intentional. We're gonna have a nice little knock-on drag-on fight here.
I was
so-
just trying to discourage bullying.
I was
You know what?
bullying the bully.
You were bullying the bully, but the thing is, you're not bullying a bully. You're standing up against a bully.
Yeah.
I was bullying the bully.
Let's be honest, yeah.
And
So
was
we're gonna
being
grab-
a little shit.
We're gonna grab initiatives. I'm assuming Havard, you equipped that item to yourself, correct?
Yeah. Is there a spot on the?
Yes. So if you go to your character sheet, there's going to be a spot that says accessories on your main character spot. So it says trainer, and then if you go to combat, it'll say equipment, and there's a spot that says accessories. So the
I'll
same
find it
combat
eventually.
page where you do your psychic attack, top right, it'll
Yes.
say
I see.
ACC.
Yes.
You will
Awesome.
have to remember that that does give you an initiative boost, but it'll be there.
And this is a quick claw.
Quick Law gives you a +10 to initiative.
All right.
Alrighty, so let me know who you guys are tossing out. You're currently fighting against 3 Pokemon. Keep that in mind. You can have more stuff out. I'm going to assume Mickey wants to participate in this.
Yes, prove himself.
He has to prove himself. You can't let bullies beat you guys up. You got to stand up to that. So let me know what you got.
Would I be able to give Mickey a quick pep talk brutal training?
I'm going to assume that you had already done so.
Awesome.
Just
Sorry,
as
Nate.
a reminder, you can have training, and if you give that thing again, it applies the bonus twice.
Oh.
Training's always on. If you do it again, that's an order, but it only lasts the round.
Gotcha.
You can stack it, but only for a limited time. But who are you guys tossing out? And you are fighting against 3 things, so keep that aware. If you want to adjust what you throw out or have more out, you're more than welcome to.
Well, I gotta bring Steve back out.
Gotta have
because
Steve.
that was my guy. That was my starter.
Steve is your starter. What is
Um,
Steve's initiative?
Steve's initiative is again stupidly high.
40.
Yeah, it's 40.
My dude.
And then I think we're gonna have to bring out the Volcarona.
Oh, you're bringing out the big hitter, huh?
I'm bringing out
What's Volcarona's name?
Kevin.
Kevin. I love this. They also get a +4 to their initiative.
Yeah,
so
so
don't
that's
forget that.
34 for Kevin.
34 for Kevin. Are you bringing out the same Absol as before, Hevard?
So we got a Sableye, we got an Absol, and we have an Espeon.
An Espeon, yes.
Okay. So I think I am unfortunately kind of against type here. We'll see how it goes. Just because I want to use all of my Pokemon, we only got 45 minutes left or so.
Yep.
So I am going to throw out. There's just too much ghost and dark in this room to send my Alakazam out. So I'm going to send out Oma. So I'm going to take my little Nerf gun out, spin it around, shoot out another Pokeball. And
This is why you guys have the type coverage that you do. You have a bug
Yep.
master for this exact reason.
I think Volcarona, Kevin.
Kevin?
You know those Sky Dancer toys where you
The
pull
ones
the
that
thing
spin?
and then it flies, like that one
Yep.
Vine where it fell into the fire?
Is that what
yeah.
happened to your Volcarona?
A
It's
couple
just a
of
Sky
times.
Dancer on fire?
It's a Sky Dancer on fire. No, so yeah, it just like pulls the thing, it flies up into action. Back with the controller for Steve. Let's go.
So which Pokemon are you sending out again, Havard? Apologies.
I'm going to send out Oma, my Alolan Marowak.
Heck yeah, what do they look like?
Yeah, so I shoot out the Pokeball, it pops open, and this Marowak, being a Alolan, it's all gray and flamey. I think this is going to be. I had a vision of both of my other ones. I didn't settle on something for my Marowak, so I think this is going to be. I think it's just another action figure.
Pokemon action figures do exist in this world, so it's possible they just look like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, no, you know what? You know those little like play archaeologist excavation like sand
Yeah.
kits? And you
Yeah.
brush away the sand, and there's this little like almost
Thing.
2D flat toy inside.
Yep.
That's gonna be my Marowak.
You had to
I
sit
love-
there and carve it out before
Yeah.
the fight actually.
Alrighty.
It pops out and it like shakes off a little sand.
It pulls out like a bone and just like that little like fake plastic fire is on the tip now.
Yep. Exactly.
Just for my knowledge, I believe your initiative is now 20 and Anthony's is now 10, correct?
Still 10.
What does the quick law add?
Plus 10 to your initiative.
Plus
So
10.
it should be a
Okay.
speed plus 10.
So it's 14 actually because of my guile.
Also 24. I
24.
apologize.
Yep.
Gotcha. Start of the round, we are going to have all these. We have currently will just be a 2D vinyl piece. It just like slid down the wall, got all the way to the floor, and then just stood itself upright. And like even inside the flat 2D, its head kind of shifted. The little drawing that is done in crayon literally rips up part of the floor as it just kind of stands up. And what's odd is no matter where it moves, the whole of where the floor should have been is moved, but it just moves around the entire thing. We're going to start the initiative with Steve. What is Steve going to do?
Steve.
The other critters are all kind of spaced out. Assume like roughly like 5 away from you at any degree.
Mhm.
We're not going to be too particular on this one.
Okay. So...
And Oma has an initiative of 10.
That one I got, yes.
Okay.
I have you guys' sheets up here just to save you a little hassle.
Bless their heart. Okay,
Bless
so we're
their heart.
fighting against...
You are fighting against an Espeon,
Mhm.
an Absol, and a Sableye.
Okay.
Would you like to know their typings just to make it easier for you?
Yes, please.
Absol is pure dark type.
Mm-hmm.
The Sableye is dark ghost, and Espeon is psychic. If you want to know anything more than that, you're going to have to use your Pokemaniac. That one's just more something you guys would generally understand.
Yeah. I mean, I did kind of clock a Sableye earlier, so for fun, let's just attack the Sableye.
That one is the one that's the drawing made of crayon. Oh no, that's the one made of glitter pen. My bad, because its eyes are glitter pen.
Let's do Signal Beam.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this confuses the target on a 19 or higher.
19 or higher? All right. So you're going to give me a roll in the die. Going against the Sableye, which is Dark Ghost.
That is a 17.
17? 17 on the die. That'll definitely hit.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
It will be taking neutral damage from Bug. So just the standard roll.
Yep. Okay, so that's 3d8. Um, 14, that's 16.
Don't forget to add plus 5
Yeah,
damage.
I'm working on that right now. You said plus what damage?
Don't forget that you have the ability Swarm, so you automatically get to add 5 damage if you do a bug type move.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay, the calculator. 14 plus 5 plus.
It's not hard math, it's just a lot of little math.
10 plus 32. In total, that is 61.
Jesus, you're not holding back. Is that special?
Yes.
Alrighty, so I take a look at the special defense. You said 61?
Yep.
You're almost gonna you're almost gonna one shot this poor thing. Hold up.
Steve's my guy.
Steve is your guy. He's your starter. It is still up, but it is not looking good. It's like meh, and you kind of like, what does your signal beam look like in this instant?
I think what it looks like is, Ant pushes the button. I think the eyes on Galavantula sort of like turn to like a laser pointer and just like
Uh,
um
you
and get him.
hit it really, really hard. Jeez. It is barely standing. For the mechanics of the game, it did take an injury for massive damage. In this game, injury does not mean like, oh god, it's bleeding. It's more like, oh, that hurt, just to make sure everybody understands. It is barely standing, but you hit it really hard. Next up is Kevin.
Kevin!
Kevin!
Okay. Kevin also hit hard.
Kevin hit hard, very hard.
I should
Jesus.
just bully the Sableye.
That's a smart move. You want
I
to go for
should
it?
just take out the Sableye. Okay, what's the most damage move that Kevin has? Let me
You
look at
do
it.
have Bug Buzz and Fire Blast.
Well, I think Fire Blast.
You're gonna go with Fire Blast?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
Yep.
So Fire Blast, I will let you know, has an AC of 4.
Mhm.
So 4 plus the Absol's evasion. Let me just pull that for you, just so we can, or not Absol, the Sableye. It's is that physical or special? Just because I need to know.
Special.
You need to roll a 6, higher than a 6 on the die to hit.
Yeah, it's probably.
Oh, I'm sorry. You get a +1 accuracy from your own thing. So yeah, you need to roll 5 or higher on the die.
Okay. Well, it's a really good thing I got a nat 20 on the die.
We live for nat 20s here. You get to roll so many dice right now. I don't want you to feel bad, but this poor Absol, you're just gonna wipe this kid
I don't
apart
feel
there.
bad.
So Fire Blast is 4d10. So you're
Yeah.
rolling 8d10 plus 20 plus 36.
Okay, so 8d10. Do I have
8d10 plus 20. You're wiping him off the face of this earth.
I am, but let's roll anyway. Okay.
For the mechanics of the game, you're not gonna kill the Pokemon, just so that anybody watching, we don't do that here. We're not, POW World. We don't do that.
4, 5, 6, 7.
So many
8.
dice.
There's an 8. Okay, yep. This is why collecting dice is good and important.
I love a dice dragon.
So much math. Okay, hold.
While they're doing that counting, Hebard, you are next. Why don't we just have you tell me what you would like to do? That way we can kind of get it ready.
Okay. So I'm still staring down this Absol, and I go,
that Absol is staring you down too.
Yeah. It's called Learning How to Win Gracefully, and my eyes are going to glaze over black, and I'm going to use my swift action to use my ability Omen to reduce its accuracy by 2.
Oh shoot! Nice. So that happens. Its accuracy is just -2 for anything it does now for the rest of the encounter. And is there anything else you'd like to do?
Yes. I would then. What do I want to?
You have a plethora of options.
I do have a lot of options. How badly do I want to bully this Absol? You know what? I don't necessarily want to bully the Absol. I am trying to teach a lesson here. So I think my eyes are going to clear from that blackness, and they're just going to start glowing this no, they're gonna start swirling in this black and white swirl pattern. Yeah. I'm just gonna keep staring it down, and I'm going to use hypnosis and try to.
Heck yeah! I think Anthony has their damage. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I do. That's 107. So what happens is Kevin
oh my
sort
God.
of the already kind of on fire sort of just boom And like just
Oh my god.
except since it's based off like the Skydance or whatever, there's a lot of like glitter involved. As I fucking murk the
I'm
Sableye.
gonna let you know it had 12 HP left, and its special defense was 12, so it's just gone. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know it's not dead. What happens is you do scorch that little bit of cardboard that had popped up. That's gone now. That
Uh-huh.
there's just a divot permanent. It's like a little cinder. It will put itself out. The box will not catch fire.
Hmm.
Um, Up at top where that Sableye initially was, it's gonna be there, but all of its glitter is burned off. It's now just black, and it almost has a look of like I don't want none of that heat. But that Sableye is just out of the combat. You've
Yep.
murked it. We have a hypnosis over here from Havard.
I imagine Mimikyu holds up a sign that just has a 10 on it.
So hypnosis is an AC2. When you're doing a status move, you can only use the speed evasion of the Pokemon. So Absol's speed evasion is 2, so you need to roll a 9 or higher on the die.
Okay. That is a 12.
It is now asleep. It's just
Right.
sleep.
Yeah. It's called Learning How to Win Gracefully. Now,
I think it's in there like
down.
and then like its stickers just kind of like it has like the little eyes, and then like 2 little swirly eyes just appear onto it, but like stickers.
Nice.
That was Havard's turn. Espeon is up next. I think Espeon is going to see what you just did to the Absol, and it's going to try to focus on you.
Okay.
So I'm going to remind you of a mechanic just because I don't want you to forget. Do you think that Mimikyu would try to block for you? Because he's right next to you.
Hevard probably doesn't want him to, but I feel like me and Mickey have been bonding real quick.
So the way this typically works, it's based off loyalty. Mimikyu started off on a high loyalty because you're his friend.
Mm-hmm.
So it can intercept attacks for you, which is a really cool mechanic I like in this game. Pokemon can do it for trainers, and trainers can do it for Pokemon. But depending on the level, they will only do it for their trainer, not others. But Mimikyu likes you. If you would not, I'm basically letting you know that you can choose to not let me do this if you would like. But Mimikyu would probably want to block for you.
Okay.
Because the Espeon is going to try to hit you.
Yeah. Yeah. Go for it.
The Espeon is going to use Quick Attack. And so you're just going to see this little vinyl thing kind of like turn like completely flat if you're looking at it. It's just this little plastic. And it's just going to sprint towards you. And then he's like, not my daddy! And he's just going to throw itself in front of you like a luchador and try to grab it. His disguise ability is going to activate, so he takes no damage, but he does block for you. So now his like little like luchador outfit, like the head is kind of torn and lopped to the side. But he did block that Espeon's attack for you. That is now going to be Absol's turn, who is asleep and doesn't get to do anything. I do believe that it is going to have to roll a status to try to wake up. And it did not, unfortunately. That Absol is now just asleep for the turn. You do wake up from sleep if you get hit, I believe. But I will pull that up in a second for y'all. Next up, Anthony, your turn, sir. What are you going to do?
Well, I think I am going to Pokemaniac one of them.
Which
just
one
deciding
would you like to do?
which one. Jack, you have any you want me to vibe check?
Oma is squaring off against the Espeon.
Okay. Yeah, that could be good. So that is 5d6.
That is correct.
Start grouping
The
these dice
DC is
together.
10. I'm hoping you get this. It shouldn't.
I would be concerned if I didn't.
When you're good at something in this game, you're meant to be good at it.
I got 10.
You got 10?
So that's 10 plus 6 is 16 plus 4 is 20. 21. That's 23.
23. And which Pokemon did you want to take a look at?
Espeon.
1 second. Let me get that pulled up for you. Espeon has the following information. They are level 17. They are not that strong. They are not that high level. They have the nature of cuddly, which is interesting. They have the abilities synchronize, which is basically whenever they are inflicted with a status, they can inflict that status back on the person that inflicted it. And they have, I don't think I tell you the moves. I think I just tell you those details. They are also male, just for what it's worth. That was your action. Is there anything else you wanted to do with your turn? Do you have anything swift? I don't think you do, but I want to
I
check.
don't think so. So I'm going to say that's going to be my turn.
That is your turn. We're going to go to Oma. How much ass does Oma want to kick?
All right. Yes, thanks, Ant. Great information to have. All right, Oma. Shadowbone.
Oh, no.
On the Espeon. Yep. So I think the red flame on Oma's bone just quickly shifts to like this dark purple flame. And because Oma's kind of like this 2D flat cutout thing, you get that sort of like pixelated, like it doesn't spin the bone, it just goes from over here to over here to over here to over
That
here.
thing where they swap it, yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to sort of Paper Mario its way over and bonk it on the head with this shadow bone.
I just love the idea of Paper Marioing.
Yep.
Alrighty, go ahead and do me that roll. What is it, physical or special?
This is a physical attack.
You're doing that against the Espeon?
Against the Espeon.
It is going to use its speed evasion for this, so it's going to be adding 3 to the evasion of the AC of the move.
Okay. The AC is 2, but because
So that's
it's
a total of 5.
I also
goes
get
down
a
by 1.
AC bonus.
So basically, you need to roll 4 or higher to hit this.
Awesome.
Or sorry, you need to roll 5 or higher to hit this. I apologize.
Well, I got an 18.
Goddamn. Don't you have brutal training on that, by the way?
I do.
Does it have anything else on that?
It does. On a 17 plus, so I didn't even need brutal. Its defense is lowered by 1 combat stage.
Okay, so it's not a critical, but you still get the extra bonus effect.
Yes.
That is pretty cool. All right. So go ahead and do that. I believe with Shadowbone, the defense thing happens after the effect, not before.
Sure.
So the defense drop happens after you deal damage.
All
Go
right.
ahead and set that up.
So that is 3d10 plus 10 plus 35.
God damn.
Let me just go to my dice roller because it's going to be easier that way.
That does sound right. Espeon is psychic,
3,
which takes 2 times the damage from Ghost. So this is going to be very brutal for this Espeon.
4 times double damage.
1.5.
1.5.
When it's 2 times effective, it's 1.5. If it's doubly effective, it'd be times 2.
So that is a total of 81 physical ghost damage with a shadow.
Did you do the 1.5 after you did all the other numbers?
Yeah,
Cool.
it was 54 times 1.5, 81.
81? Alrighty. Yeah, it's gone. You one-hit KO this thing.
Bonk.
It had 12 special defense. It had 60 health. It cannot stop that.
Yep.
Describe how this happens to this little final thing.
Yeah, just Paper Mario up with the pixelated bone going, and it's just gonna bonk. And I imagine the ghost bone is just gonna. Yeah, I think you have that sort of like original red blue. A very very quick like strobe light black white that would happen when you meet the ghost in Lavender Tower.
Love the reference. Yeah, so that Espeon just goes down. It just happens. I'm just looking for one thing. Where are you? At the end of turn next. Cool. So we are now going to go to Sableye, who is not in the initiative anymore, and go back to our bro Steve.
Steve, who's still in the running?
We currently have an asleep Absol that thought they were hot shit.
Okay. All right, Steve.
I'm gonna let you know, when they are asleep, they have vulnerable.
Mhm.
So when a Pokemon is vulnerable, one second, just gotta make sure I pull up the wording for y'all. A vulnerable Pokemon cannot apply any evasion. So you're just trying to beat the AC of your move, which is nothing for you. You're gonna hit.
Let's just use Signal Beam again.
Signal Beam is every other turn.
Okay. In that case, Electrowave, Web, even. Okay.
Did you want to try Electro Ball? Electro Ball adds your speed stat to the damage.
I mean, yeah. I do have a pretty okay, Electro Ball. So that's a 16?
Yep, you're basically just rolling to see if you crit. You're gonna hit.
Yeah.
So the way it works is you do the standard dice roll,
Mhm.
and then you're gonna add the damage that's already on there, and then you're gonna add 36 as well.
Okay.
The only caveat is the defending Pokemon gets to add their speed to their defense as well, but
Yeah.
your Pokemon's faster than anything they got.
Yeah. Okay. That is 7. There's a lot of math. 7 plus 10 plus 32. And then you said plus 36?
Plus 36.
Plus
I
36.
guess your total stat, not the initial one.
That's 85?
85 damage from a non-crit.
Yeah.
Donk. You said 87?
85.
85, my apologies. 85. Absol's defense, special defense is 13, and its
Mhm.
speed is 12.
Mhm.
So minus 25. It is still up, but it is now awake.
Well, maybe not for much longer.
It does take an injury, though.
Yeah. So it's Kevin's turns next.
It is
right?
Kevin's turn, so it's not going to
Yeah.
get a chance.
No, it's cooked.
Heather, do you still have did you spend the points for your telepathy still, or did you not have that going?
Yeah, that's still up. Yeah.
So you spent the 2 points for it to be up again.
Right,
The Absol literally in its head's going, shit. Not my puppy sticker.
Well,
I just realized that we never gave Mickey an initiative.
And that's fine.
That's
They
my
have
fault. One
the
second.
spirit.
1 second. Let me check. We didn't need Mickey in this one, but Mickey actually has a high initiative. They go right after Hevard.
Let's do Bug Buzz.
Oh, that's right. They use their turn to block for you. That's what happened.
Yeah, Bug Buzz.
You go on Bug Buzz?
Yeah.
Alrighty. 1 second.
Mhm.
Because you used Fire Blast last time. Bug Buzz, go for it.
It's a 17.
God damn. That does not crit, but that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll.
Yep. Okay.
I believe dark types do not have any interaction. Dark type takes 2 times damage from bug.
Okay. Math. 7.
Half the fun in this game is just being like, what's the... For those listening, and while we're doing math calculation, part of why I love PTU so much is there are so many different typings that it really incentivizes you to test the typings.
And then, okay, so that total is 53, and then...
Times 1.5.
Times 1.5? That's 79.5.
So it just gets down to 79. We round down in this one. I'm going to let you know right now, you're going to describe to me what you do to this Absol, because he does not have enough. I just want to see how much he survives by, or how much he goes down by.
Cool.
Yeah, he's down. He's down with 3 injuries total. Tell me how you do this.
Right. So, our boy Kevin does you know when a moth like flies in your face and it's very upsetting?
Yes.
That happens. And then and is like, I don't win gracefully. I just win.
Are you saying that in the
Um,
background? While you're just holding a controller and like a little like I just win.
I just win. Well, it's Kevin, so it's just the like the ripcord thing from
Yep.
this guy. It's just
Well, you still have Give Angela's controller in your other
yeah,
hand.
Like I just win. Okay. Um, that's what
This
you get for messing with our boy Mickey.
this Absol puppy sticker just explodes. Just goes. There's like little bits of confetti, and like you swear to God, you hear like a little party horn go on at the same time. The vinyl thing got shattered from earlier, and it's up on the wall now, and it's back intact. But the Espion's kind of like looking away in that like sad look thing. The Absol puppy sticker is back on the wall. Its horn has got like a big old band-aid on it, and it's just like
Yeah, feel big now,
um
huh?
the Mimikyu gets a tally mark underneath it automatically. Underneath it on its table, that table reaffirms. Side tangent, I didn't get to mention it earlier. Those tables are actually those little pizza things they use to keep them from getting crushed by the box. On its table, a little plastic puffy sticker of an Absol just gets propped up on the table.
Hell yeah. That's what we call vindication.
Vindication. Uh Mimikyu, costume actually it starts like shifting back into position as a little light from the lantern kind of beams out to it, and you hear the da 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 da. Actually, no, wrong sound effect. Fuck. What's it for Pokemon? The level. I'm missing the level up sound effect in my head.
I've
Like
never had a thought.
never had a thought. The little level up sound effect happens for the Mimikyu, and you literally hear it just level up.
I think it's just like a quick ding.
I think that's what it is. It's just in my head. It's like fuck. I know it has a sound effect. Yeah. What would you guys like to do next? You are current. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm sorry. There is one other thing that happens. After that little thing happens, Mimikyu, after it levels up, is going to walk over to its table, and there's a second thing that's stuck to the table now. And he's just like, I win! I get the permission slip. Do you guys want to go see? And like he just pulls the thing. You just hear the sound of like ripping. There is a little triangle that has a bee on it. It's a sticker.
Okay. Triangle with a bee.
There's a little triangle sticker that says bee on it. I got the permission slip. I get to go join the party.
Oh. Well, if there's a party, then we should go.
Come on, Dad. And he just grabs your hand and starts dragging you up the stairs. Do you want to take the stairs, or do you want to go through the front door?
Yeah, let's go through the front door down here the way unless Mickey is leading me in a particular direction.
He does that thing where like kids, they just start like dragging you around, asking you questions, but he's not really going anywhere. He's waiting for you to tell you what you want.
Before we leave, though, I'm gonna take out my roll result 25 cleanse tag. I'm just gonna put it on Mickey's table.
Oh, so you're basically creating a little barrier around it?
Yeah, they can't mess with that table anymore.
Nice.
And since Mickey's coming with me, because we're best buds now, that score's locked in.
That score's locked in. He's got one.
Yeah. That's all the little guy needs.
That's all he needs.
You want to go? So you're going through the bottom section? And here I was hoping that we'd be doing the Indiana Jones theme song backwards. He goes to the little cardboard wall, and there's just like a big old, I was going to say Lincoln log, and that's not the right one. A Rector set, the little metal bar. He kind of like pushes that. I was like, I need a little help, because he's like literally like 1 foot tall. Clunk. You guys pull the door open, and as you walk through, you're going to see what looks like a regular like foyer in a Barbie party lounge. There's an elevator with like little plastic sides that somebody has just drawn all over. There's a double stairwell that just leads into a thing that's been blocked off with cardboard. And then in the front area, there's like a little water fountain that's got like the little plastic that's supposed to be water that's just been broken and reattached with hot glue. And then you're gonna see him like there's the front door that's just got all sorts of erector set metal just like stapled to it to block the front door. When you look at the windows, you now have like 6 different Pokemon heads all just like crowding around those windows, just like really excited. It's like, and in your head, you're saying like, "Oh shit, they're almost there! Oh shit!" And he's gonna drag you to the elevator.
I think Anne is like.
Unless Anthony stops, is there something you guys like to do before he continues on?
Now, would you say that the foyer is like a pretty open space?
Oh, it's very open. Yes.
Have.
Yes.
If you might indulge me here.
You're gonna do the thing I'm gonna do. This is the reason I put it in the game for you to do this.
So listen, I think we're wrapping things up here. And pulls out the Barbara Jeep.
I knew it. I knew it.
I think, like, listen, I kind of have my license. So
how old is your character again?
I think like freshly 16. Like
they got their learner's permit.
I have my learner's permit, you know, and like I'm like I would have my license, but I went with you, and then we got stuck in it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
So and
you have a legal adult in the car. It's a lesson.
Yeah. And makes the car big, you know, pushes the button and gets in the driver's seat.
You hear all the Pokemon going, "Oh shit, yes!" Do you both get in the car?
It's probably safer to be in the car than outside.
There are little plastic. There's the little plastic things that like you just kind of snap into the spot. It's like the little plastic tabs.
Yeah.
The little cars. Once you two get in, a car seat just appears in the back.
There you go, Mickey.
They get like buckles like, "Thanks, Dad."
Roads.
Do you do what I think you're about to do?
Roads. And
do me a favor. If you're about to do what I think you do, just give me a general ed. This is just for driving. You're still gonna do it. It's just to me to narrate what happens next.
Yeah. How well? Okay. So that is 2d6.
Don't forget, you can get help.
Hey, which one's the gas again?
Yeah, the one on the right.
Actually, I'm just gonna let you. If you're okay with it, you didn't use that automatic 6 from your thing earlier. Do you want to just transfer it?
Take it. Yeah. Take it.
So just roll me 1d6. You already have a 6 on the die from the first one. I don't want that thing you got to get lost.
That's a 6.
15, which is effectively like an 18 skill check.
Yeah.
Describe what you do.
Right. So they do their whole, we don't need roads. They drive on the foyer, but then they start like doing donuts absolutely wildly. And then
just the plastic on plastic.
I don't have my learner's permit yet. And they're just fucking going
for the front door.
And then they like drive through the front door.
So 3 things happen.
I'm gonna mom arm Mickey back there.
2 things happen. Literally, that was gonna be one of the things that was gonna happen.
And then, real
2
quick,
things happen.
I think Tokyo Drift is playing.
I hope you guys apply that in the back. You hit the front door. They had to do this because some people in the past have done it, and they love it when they do it. So you hit this thing full speed. And it's very clear that they designed it to like fall apart after the first time because it was so rad. You go flying out, and as you leave the dollhouse, 2 things happen. The Jeep gets full size, like you guys all start growing and shifting back to your forms.
Mm-hmm.
And as you do so, all the Pokemon start popping party poppers and going, "Yeah!" And like literally the Jeep lands and it's like full size, like I don't want to say full size Jeep, it's like full size toy Jeep. You can still sit in it, but you guys are kind of crunched.
I'm
And you
probably
hit into
not
a
as
wall.
crunched as Hev is. Hev is probably like shoulders to their chest.
He's probably like this in the Jeep now. You guys run into a brick wall. You don't get hurt. You just like, it stops from the momentum. And there's just like 10, 12 Pokemon all cheering with like party poppers. And behind them is like a table set up with like all sorts of berries and like fast food bags. Like, not fast food, like Cheetos and popcorn and all that. The popcorn looks like it's out of date. Like all the stuff looks old. But they all just start like crowding around you and cheering, and like the ones that have hands try to give you guys high fives.
I think while it became full size, Ant still has sunglasses and is wearing
You're
them.
still, by the way, you're still wearing your actual outfit. Like
I'm wearing
the
the Adnam and
you
sunglasses.
are wearing like the helmet and all that. That became full size with you. Havard is currently wearing a very beautiful yellow jumpsuit. In your pockets, you're gonna find some Legos, a busted Bulbasaur keychain, and some of the other stuff you picked up. What do you guys want to do next?
Right, so we should probably see what that old lady was all about, huh?
Do you want to check out the room you're in first?
Oh, that's probably a good idea. See,
Yeah.
Hev is probably already looking around, and Ant's like, "Oh shit!" Right? Yeah.
I didn't want to not trying to step on your toes.
No, you're
Sorry.
good.
I'm introducing myself to the various Pokemon at this party.
There is an Absol in this room, and they very deftly give you a hand of like respect. Like in their head of like respect. I deserve that.
Yeah.
The Sableye is going to like kind of like go up to grab Ant and just be like, "That was sweet."
Yep.
Just like shaking your hand, and then like its eye falls off, and then he goes and puts it back on. While this is happening, do you guys kind of like scan the room?
Yeah.
There actually is a big old wooden sign that's like half there. It looks like it broke from disrepair and it got like kind of put down here. It's oddly enough one of the only things aside from like the table and the dollhouse that are not dusty. And next to that sign, like in the space, is a big picture in like a glass frame. Do you guys check it out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is it?
On the sign, which got split down the middle, it looks like somebody has tried to deftly put it back together as best they can. It says Sister Miriam's Pokemon Rescue Center.
Aww.
And then in the photo, there looks to be an old lady in like a sunbonnet hat with like a cane, just surrounded by ghost Pokemon, dark types, and like psychics. But there are also like other types there. But it looks to be like this used to be like an animal sanctuary kind of place. And you can clearly tell from the picture frame that this was like years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like a lot of these Pokemon were here for it, and then they just got left behind. You can clearly see like a lot of the junk food was stuff that just they kept from that as well. So it's like the Cheeto bag, and it currently says XX23, and it's clearly like XX56.
Yeah.
And so they're all kind of like dragging it. It's like, eat. And you're clearly getting the message of like, eat, join us, please. That was awesome. And it's like 5 months ago, we had this one couple that came in and did it, and then they just tried to jump down the elevator shaft, and they didn't know that the elevator shaft just went into nothingness, so they screamed for 10 minutes. It was so cool. They were like, I was falling for 10 minutes.
Yes, I'm sure that would be very concerning.
The screams were the best part. It was awesome.
It's just watching the Pokemon like chatter at Hev, like, sure.
They're all chattering at Hev, but like a bunch are chattering with you because they think you can do the same thing Hev's doing. So they're all trying to have full conversations with you, and like they're just interpreting your nods like you're understanding them.
Oh yeah, no. Ant is probably enabling a lot of shit, being like, yeah, absolutely, rock on.
Every time you say that, like 3 of them high five, and then they just start like grabbing onto you. you just agreed to take them with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think also at that point it was like, okay, how many Pokeballs do I have on my person right
You have a
now?
bunch.
I have so many.
There's a cabinet on the side that just has a bunch of Pokemon supplies, including a bunch of balls. That's where they're getting it all from.
Hey, Have.
Yeah.
I think they need homes. Can we keep all of them?
I mean, if they'd like to.
The room erupts in like raucous applause. You guys get lifted into the air and just sort of like floating.
All right.
That
Good
is
friends
where we're
for
going.
all.
I think that's kind of where I think that's
I
the best
think-
way to leave off Ghastly Manor,
But
honestly.
I think the last thing Ant says is, you know what, Have? It didn't get worse.
Got a lot better.
Yeah.
There's just the last thing you see off in the corner before like anything else happens is just one lone Alakazam that just like it looks old for an Alakazam, and it just nods its head like in like a they're taken care of kind of way, and then it just kind of fades off into mist.
Mm.
And I think that's where we're gonna leave off with Ghastly Manor, the one shot.
Let's go.
Let's go. You guys did phenomenal. I will say, just because I thought it would be funny, the little bee, that was the basement sticker.
Oh.
That's why he said he got his pass. Getting the sticker lets you go to the basement, which lets you leave the house and come to the party in the actual basement. So with that, what did you guys think? Did you have a good time?
Oh, this was a blast.
I mean, Ant's such a little shit. How many gray hairs did you think that have gained from this ordeal?
At least 3.
I think Hev is probably fairly used to this by now.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I put the Jeep in at the very beginning, hoping somebody would remember at the end.
Yep.
When I've done this one once before, they always forgot the random shit they picked up. They remember the Legos, and I remember they picked up Connects because they were like using it to joust, but they forgot the Jeep.
I was like, oh, this is probably an open area.
It was a very open area.
Jeep.
You're like, is it open? I'm like, it's so open. There's
Like,
a lot of space.
Yeah, let's go.
So what do you guys think about the Pokemon Tabletop United system?
You know, it was the friends we made along the way. I think in the end, I understand it.
Given the fact that this is your first time playing it, I think you did a very good job with it. It's a lot of fun. It seems a little more complicated than it actually is. It's just honestly a lot of like 6 + 7 + 7 + 6 type of deal.
Yeah.
I think the complexity really just comes down to character creation. It has that sort of Shadowrun learning curve to it, where you need.
It doesn't
to
help that you
really
guys were
focus it.
making level 15 characters off the rip, so that
right
didn't
for a
help.
one shot. Yeah.
If you do it from the beginning, it's like you make 7, 8 choices,
Mhm.
which is good in my opinion. I prefer games where like you actually get to make some meaningful choices at the beginning. How did you guys enjoy? I feel bad that you didn't get to throw out all your Pokemon. So I am curious, what would your Masquerain have looked like, and what would have your Alakazam looked like? It would have been just the plushie. Oh no, it's
I
the
was waiting
Funko.
to go.
What would Masquerain be? I think.
I also did enjoy just tossing you guys like, what would you look like as a toy?
I think
I
it would have
loved
just been one of the Pokemon sitting cuties, like the small plush toys that they
Aw,
have.
That's so cute.
Yeah, well, we should do the outro bit.
We should do the outro, yeah.
Mhm,
So I'm
mhm,
gonna start with our phenomenal friend Lewis and Anthony over here. Thank you so much for handling all the hard parts, because I am still learning how to make that stuff work. So go ahead and prompt what you got to prompt.
Yeah, so I'm Lewis Wolf. I've been hearing myself talk this whole time, and everyone else twice. But yeah, I am an artist / voice actor / audio drama podcast. So many things. It's Lewis W. Basically everywhere. What do I got currently? Oh, currently you can nominate me as best character artist for the Crit Awards if you wanted.
I was about to say, heck
if you
yeah.
wanted, you could do that. You could do that.
That you can do that.
That's pretty much it.
All right, next up we have Hebert being run by Jack at RPGs Uncovered. What you got, bro?
Yes, hello, folks. Jack again. I had so much fun tonight. This was a blast. So thank you, Rain. But yeah, you can find me all over the internet at RPGs Uncovered. I do have my own Twitch and YouTube. I'm taking a bit of hiatus, but there's a lot of really cool stuff over on the YouTube. RPGs Uncovered started out as a let's learn how to play some new indie games. So if you want to check out some great new indie games and learn how to play them by watching us play them, go check those out. We had a lot of really fun stuff of all different genres, all different crunchiness. So go check that out. We also did some other fun actual plays and interviews with indie creators for things that they had coming down the pipeline. So if you are looking into any new games you'd like to play, want to check out some new games to add to your table, you might find some cool stuff on there. I also just started a new TTRPG production company, Star Metal Productions, that you can find on Twitch and YouTube as well. We just started that off with our first series, Undead Cowboys versus Werewolves, and it's been a blast. So you can go check that out if that sounds fun. That game is created by another one of our members, Tal Woodblaze. So just come over and say hi if you want more of this energy, because we got more of it coming. Yeah, I think did I cover everything there? I think I covered everything.
I think
there.
so.
Yeah,
You rep your channel, you rep your cool stuff, you rep the beard.
Yeah,
Kinda
there
all
you
the
go.
good stuff.
But yes, thank you once again, Rain. Where can everyone find more of you?
So hey there, guys. Rain Grim here. I am found under Rain Grim at Blue Sky. I no longer use Twitter because Helen can suck it. I operate the channel Fennec Fables on YouTube. I typically talk about world building prompts. I give you ideas for different scenarios. If you follow me on Blue Sky, I do a daily TTRPG prompt or question to get your noodle going, have yourself think about how you play games and what you might want to add to it. I also tend to talk about, very similar to what Jack does, different TTRPGs that I enjoy. In particular, I have a multi-part series about Pokemon Tabletop United, one of my favorite game series. It's so much fun. I've also been talking about things like Heckin' Good Doggos. I'm currently working on some stuff for Kids on Bikes, Lancer, all that fun stuff. We're also repping not my game, but somebody else's. If you get the chance, check out Hellborn coming out soon. I actually got to do a final polish on that system, helping with the rules and such. Pretty proud of that. I'm also hopefully one of these days going to be running a full campaign of this. Maybe Jack and Lewis will join me. Who knows? Maybe they'll tell me to go away.
Who knows?
It'll be much easier when you're playing from level 1, though, so that would help.
Yeah.
I think that's all my stuff. So it's Fennec Fables at Fennec Fables at YouTube.com, and Blue Sky is just Rain Grim, RAYNE GRIMM. Please follow me. I am desperate for attention, and without it, I shrivel up and die.
The content creator way.
The
Yeah.
content
And
creator way.
shout out to Nerds with Dice for hosting.
Oh,
this video.
thank you so much. I knew I was forgetting something.
Mhm.
Nerds with Dice, thank you so much for letting me run this game for you guys. Hopefully, people enjoy my GM style and my whimsical nature. Without you guys, this would not have happened, and I am eternally grateful.
Oh, you know what? I'm also running playtest for a solo journaling TTRPG that I have written. It's called Living Sucks, and that's because it is about being a vampire navigating the Act One life.
We live for the pun.
We live for the puns. I thought it was so funny. That is on my Blue Sky at itslewisw.bsky.social. Now that's everything.
I think that's everything. Yep. Follow us on our socials, please. We beg you. Without that, the algorithm will destroy our souls, what little we have remaining. With that, I think we just wave and make smiles and pretend that we're not, in separate rooms. Bye.
Bye.